Chapter 546. Senior Sister Mullins, you don't have to worry about this. I'll take care of it. Lu Ming smiled. He had nearly 9 million spirit crystals on him. He believed that it was enough to refine a grade 6 spirit weapon. Mu Shuyuan and Mullins were extremely astonished. Lu Ming could even afford a grade 6 spirit weapon? It seemed like they'd still underestimated Lu Ming. All right then. There's a grade 6 inscription master in Profound Sky City, and he's a good friend of my father. However, he's not free these 2 days. How about this? I'll come look for you in 3 days and take you to see that inscription master. Mullins said. All right, all right. Lu Ming was overjoyed. He hadn't expected that there would really be a grade 6 inscription master in Profound Sky City. Grade 6 inscription masters were extremely rare. Their status was extremely high and respected, and they were even more respected than ordinary Sea of Soul Realm experts. Sea of Soul Realm experts were extremely rare in the entire Profound Sky region. Every single one of them was a figure that could dominate Profound Sky region. The 3 realms of spiritual God were respectively Sea of Soul Realm, Spiritual Embryo Realm, and Spiritual God Realm. Every realm was incomparably profound. At the same time, the power they grasped was incomparably terrifying. It simply had the ability to destroy the heavens and earth. It was absolutely not something that Martial King Realm experts could compare to. After the Domain Enlightened Spirit God Realm was the Martial Monarch Realm. The peak of the Spiritual God Realm was also called Supremacy. Supremacy 9 Suns was the peak of the Spiritual God Realm, and was only a step away from the Martial Emperor Realm. Of course, that realm was extremely far away from Lu Ming. Now wasn't the time to think about this. Next, Lu Ming chatted with Mullins and Mu Shuyuan for a while. Lu Ming, heal your injuries first. Mullins instructed with some concern. Then she left with Mu Shuyuan. After Mullins and Mu Shuyuan left, Lu Ming sat down cross-legged and circulated his qi to heal his injuries. Previously, Lu Ming had taken 2 of the Sacred Star's attacks head-on, causing him to suffer heavy injuries. He also knew that the Sacred Star hadn't used much strength in those 2 moves. Otherwise, Lu Ming definitely wouldn't have been able to withstand them. 3 hours later, Lu Ming's injuries were much better. He believed that he would be completely healed in less than a day. Half a year. If we want to catch up to the Sacred Star in half a year, we need more resources. The most important thing is the will of the heavens and earth. As long as the will of the heavens and earth increases, as long as I have supreme grade spiritual crystals, my cultivation will continue to increase. Lu Ming pondered. Lu Ming now had the Enlightenment Ancient Tree and comprehended the concept of heaven and earth extremely quickly. However, Lu Ming was not satisfied. At this speed, there was no way they would be able to catch up to the Sacred Star in half a year. Profound crystals. If I have a large amount of profound crystals and the Enlightenment Ancient Tree, I'll be able to comprehend the will of heaven and earth much faster. Only then will I be able to catch up to the Saint Star. Lu Ming pondered. To be honest, Lu Ming was also under a lot of pressure. The main thing was that the time was too short, only half a year. Half a year later, I must defeat the Sacred Star. If I can't defeat the Sacred Star, how can I fight against Martial Emperor D in the future? Lu Ming clenched his fists tightly, his gaze firm. Immediately, Lu Ming took out the Enlightenment Ancient Tree and placed it beside him. Then, he took out a Fire Profound Crystal. He planned to improve his will of fire first. Now, Lu Ming's will of fire had reached the early stage of level 1 lesser success, which was only slightly weaker than the will of thunder. However, Lu Ming had 320 fire attribute profundity crystals in his hands. He could comprehend the fire concept the fastest. Lu Ming exerted his strength and crushed the fire attribute profound meaning crystal. Threads of concept permeated the surroundings of Lu Ming. Lu Ming closed his eyes and started to comprehend the will of fire. Originally, the will of heaven and earth in this area was a little stronger than in the Enlightenment Ancient Tree and the profound crystals. Lu Ming's comprehension of the will of fire had reached a terrifying speed. His comprehension of the will of fire had increased crazily. Lu Ming crushed another piece of fire attribute profound meaning crystal after he had used it up. One after another. After a day, Lu Ming had consumed 20 fire profound crystals. Lu Ming's will of fire had a breakthrough, reaching the middle stage of level 1 lesser success, catching up with the will of thunder. Fast, too fast. 1 day's time was equivalent to a year's time for others, or even longer. At this time, Lu Ming's injuries had already healed. Continue. Lu Ming continued to take out fire profound crystals and crush them, continuing to comprehend the will of fire. In the blink of an eye, the 3-day time limit with Mulin's had arrived. In less than 3 days, Lu Ming had consumed a total of 60 fire attribute profundity crystals. Lu Ming's comprehension of the will of fire had reached the peak of the middle stage of level 1 lesser success, almost reaching the late stage of level 1 lesser success. The comprehension of the will of fire was more difficult as one progressed. As long as his will of fire reached the late stage of level 1 lesser success, Lu Ming's cultivation could be improved again, reaching the 5th level of Martial King realm. If the will of fire did not improve, it would be difficult to improve one's cultivation. On this day, Mulin's arrived at Lu Ming's courtyard on time. Lu Ming, let's go. I'll take you to see the inscription master, Mulin said. But Lu Ming's eyes lit up and he was looking forward to it. Mulin's led Lu Ming into the depths of the city. There were very few pedestrians on the streets of the 4th area. Presumably, if he wasn't training outside, he was working hard in closed-door cultivation. Lu Ming followed Mulin's, turning left and right, and came to a shabby stone house. Is this the residence of the inscription master? Lu Ming was surprised. Yes, this inscription master has a strange temper, but he is good friends with my father. He should agree to help you, right? Mulin said. However, from her tone, she didn't sound very confident. Lu Ming could not help but touch his nose. The two walked into the stone house. There was a small courtyard inside, but there were all kinds of scrap metal piled up in the courtyard like garbage. Uncle Huang, Mulin's called out in a low voice. Who is it? You're disturbing my dream again. Suddenly, an aged voice sounded in the courtyard. Lu Ming was shocked. The voice seemed to be ringing in Lu Ming's ears. Lu Ming hurriedly turned around, but he did not see a shadow. Lu Ming sensed carefully, but there was no aura at all. Uncle Huang, it's me, Mulin's. I have something to ask you for help today. Mulin's said softly, looking around with her beautiful eyes. So it's little Lon. Okay, I admit defeat. Tell me, what do you want from me? The old voice sounded again. Uncle Huang, I want to ask you to help me refine a level 6 spiritual weapon spear. Mulin said. Level 6 spiritual weapon spear? This little girl really dares to ask. You want to refine it for this young man, right? Well, have you brought the spiritual crystals? Have you brought the materials? The old voice sounded. Senior. Lu Ming cupped his fists in the air and said, I have the spiritual crystals, but I don't have the materials to refine a level 6 spiritual weapon. You don't have the materials to refine a level 6 spiritual weapon? Well, I'll exchange them with spiritual crystals. I'll pay the materials for you, a total of 5 million spiritual crystals. The old voice sounded. 5 million spiritual crystals? Mulin's widened her eyes in shock. Uncle Huang, 5 million supreme-grade spiritual crystals is too expensive. On the market, a LV6 spiritual weapon is only a few 100,000 supreme-grade spiritual crystals. Chapter 547. Indeed, a level 6 spirit weapon was many times more expensive than a level 5 spirit weapon used by kings. But to say that one needed 5 million spirit crystals was a bit frightening. It was completely exorbitant. Clang, clang. This old man's hair and beard were a mess. It was unknown how long it had been since he last cleaned it, as it was covered in dirt. Lu Ming was stunned. This old man had actually been sleeping in the pile of scrap. This was the level 6 inscription master? Little girl, don't compare those pieces of scrap metal with the spiritual weapons that I have personally refined. Moreover, Those LV6 spiritual weapons that are worth hundreds of thousands of pieces of supreme-grade spiritual crystals are all lower LV6 or middle LV6. What's the use of them? Those that I have refined are definitely at the peak of LV6. Do you understand? The moment the old man appeared, he ran in front of Mullins and yelled, "Uncle Huang, 5 million supreme spiritual crystals is too expensive." Mullins said, 5 million spirit crystals was something that even peak kings might not be able to take out, not to mention them. Even Sea of Soul realm experts would feel the pinch. If you don't have spirit crystals, then forget it. I don't do business that loses money. The old man waved his hand. As long as the spirit weapon's quality is good, spirit crystals are not a problem. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke. Ah! Mullins looked at Lu Ming in astonishment. Could Lu Ming even take out 5 million spirit crystals? The old man also looked at Lu Ming in astonishment. If you have spirit crystals, then it's easy. Tell me, what requirements do you have for the spirit weapon long spear? The old man asked. Every martial artist had different requirements for their spirit weapons according to the martial techniques they cultivated. Some people liked nimble ones, while others liked heavy ones. Hardness. First, whether it's the spear shaft or the spear tip, it needs to be absolutely tough and able to withstand an intense explosion. Also, the spear shaft needs to be tough, and flexible. Lastly, the heavier the better. Lu Ming pondered for a moment before replying. Little fellow, you sure have a lot of requests. The old man grinned and went into deep thought. After a long while, the old man said, there are very few people who use spears. I don't have many materials that are suitable for making spears. And I do have a piece of steel that is not bad. It is suitable for making the spear tip, but what about the spear shaft? We do have ordinary materials, but we don't have anything that meets your requirements. The old man frowned and muttered. Little guy, think about it. Since you use a spear, you should have collected some materials. Think about it. Do you have any suitable materials to refine a spear? If you do, I will charge less spirit crystals. The old man said, myself. Lu Ming was also racking his brains, but he really didn't have any suitable ones. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. With a move of his hand, a broken spear appeared. This broken spear only had half of it. The other half of the spear was missing. It was the broken spear that was shot out from the heavenly gate. This broken spear didn't have any spirituality, but its material was indeed very tough. Lu Ming didn't know what material it was made of. Maybe it could be useful. Senior, look at this broken spear, whoosh. Before Lu Ming could finish his words, a figure flashed and the broken spear in his hand disappeared and appeared in the old man's hand. Lu Ming was secretly shocked. The old man's cultivation was unfathomable. He didn't even see how the old man made his move. He saw the old man staring at the broken spear. His originally turbid eyes were now as bright as 2 light bulbs, blazing with passion. The old man gently stroked the spear shaft with both hands. As the old man's palms moved, strange runes appeared on the spear shaft. This is a refining method from the ancient era. There are inscriptions from the ancient era in it. It's a priceless treasure, ha! The old man suddenly laughed hysterically. Lu Ming and Mullins looked at each other. It was just a broken spear. What value did it have? Why did the old man say it was a priceless treasure? Little guy, where did you get this broken spear from? The old man asked. I got it by accident in an ancient battlefield. Lu Ming lied. Yes, this broken spear has a long history. Although it has lost its spirituality and only half of it is left, it's a waste in your hands. But in my hands, it's a priceless treasure. The old man laughed. Seeing Lu Ming and Mullins's puzzled faces, the old man explained. The remnant inscriptions on this spear are ancient inscriptions that have been lost for a long time. They are extremely useful to me. After I study them, I might be able to reach a higher level in the art of refining. Just this point alone makes this a priceless treasure. Little guy, give this spear to me. I'll do my best to refine a spear for you. I won't take a single cent. How about it? The old man looked at Lu Ming. But Lu Ming agreed without hesitation. Anyway, this spear was useless in his hands. If he gave it to the old man, he could save 5 million supreme-grade spirit crystals. Lu Ming was willing to give it up. Seeing that Lu Ming had agreed, the elder was very happy. He smiled and said, "Young lad, I won't let you suffer a loss. This half of the long spear contains a rare and strange metal called the infinite black gold. If you use this metal to forge the spirit weapon, it will have infinite potential. In the future, as long as you continue to condense and smelt other metals into it, this spirit weapon will be able to evolve and upgrade continuously." What? It can continue to evolve and upgrade. Lu Ming and Mullins were dumbfounded and shocked. There was actually such a magical metal. Lu Ming's eyes were glowing and burning with passion. That's right. In ancient times, there was quite a bit of infinite black gold. But now there is less and less infinite black gold. It is a great fortune for you to be able to obtain some. Wait for me to study the inscriptions on it, then I will smelt this infinite black gold into your spirit weapon long spear. The old man said, "Thank you, senior." Lu Ming bowed and cupped his fists. There's no need to thank me. I should be the one thanking you. However, with such a good material, the other materials can't be lacking. Otherwise, it would be a waste. Now, the key is the material of the spear shaft. The old man frowned. After a while, the old man's eyes lit up. "I got it. For the spear shaft, it's most suitable to use 1,000 refined blood gold." 1,000 refined blood gold? Lu Ming was puzzled. That's right. 1,000 refined blood gold is an extremely precious metal. It has to be refined 1,000 times, and every time, it has to be added with the blood of demonic beasts. Only after 1,000 times can it be refined. However, I don't have any 1,000 refined blood gold, so I'll need you to make a trip. The old man said, "Where can I get this 1,000 refined blood gold?" Chapter 548. In the Tianxian region, only the weapon forging sect in the north has it. Coincidentally, I once helped the weapon forging sect's sect master. As long as you go to the weapon forging sect and say that I asked you to go, the weapon forging sect's sect master will definitely give you a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold. The old man explained. "Oh, so it's in the weapon forging sect?" Mullins nodded. "All right, I'll make a trip there now." Lu Ming nodded. "Little guy, take this pagoda. It's my keepsake. My name is Huang Pagoda. You can call me Elder Huang in the future." The old man took out a fist-sized pagoda and threw it to Lu Ming. "Yes, Elder Huang." After Lu Ming put it away, his gaze flickered and he said, "Elder Huang, I still have something that I need your help with." "What is it?" "Speak. As long as I can do it, I'll definitely help." Elder Huang smiled. He was in a good mood after obtaining the broken spear. In his eyes, Lu Ming was simply adorable. A long sword appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was an ordinary long sword, a rank 2 spiritual weapon. It was the heavenly star sword that his father had left for him. Lu Yuntian had said that the heavenly star sword contained the secret of the martial emperor's treasure. However, there were inscriptions on the heavenly star sword. If one forcefully broke the heavenly star sword, the secret would vanish. First, one had to decipher the inscriptions to open the heavenly star sword. In the past, Lu Ming had never found an inscriber to open the heavenly star sword because he felt that his cultivation was too weak. The martial emperor's treasure was left behind by the martial emperor. Without cultivation, even if the martial emperor's treasure was placed in front of him, he wouldn't be able to obtain it. With his previous cultivation, if he really entered the martial emperor's treasure, even the slightest danger would be enough to take his life. Lu Ming's mind was clear. He wouldn't go looking for the martial emperor's treasure as soon as he heard about it. But now, he had an idea. Even if he didn't go there now, he would first take a look at the martial emperor's treasure's secret and its general location. "Elder Huang, there's something hidden in the sword. However, the sword is protected by inscriptions. I would like to ask Elder Huang to break the inscriptions." Lu Ming said. "Oh, that's easy." Elder Huang took the heavenly star sword and looked at it. "This is only a low-level inscription. It's easy." Immediately after, old Huang's palms glowed. Inscriptions appeared on his palms and he swiped them across the celestial star sword. The inscriptions on the celestial star sword appeared one after another and then collapsed. All right, the inscription has been broken. Take it. Elder Huang returned the heavenly star sword to Lu Ming. As for what was hidden in the heavenly star sword, Elder Huang had no interest in knowing. When Lu Ming received the heavenly star sword, he sighed inwardly. The methods of a sixth-rank inscription master were truly profound. Elder Huang, this junior would like to purchase a level 5 spear. Do you have it? Lu Ming didn't have any spears that were of great use at the moment. Before he could refine a level 6 spear, he could only purchase a level 5 spear for now. I do have a few level 5 spears. A dark purple spear appeared in Elder Huang's hand. This Thunderwind spear can be considered the best among level 5 spiritual weapons. Take it. Consider it a gift from me. Elder Huang tossed the spear to Lu Ming. Thunderwind spear. Lu Ming caught it and shook it slightly. Buzz. The spear shook and the space trembled slightly. Not bad. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. This Thunderwind spear was much better than the demon suppressing spear. It was enough for now. Lu Ming put it away and expressed his gratitude to Elder Huang. Go. Bring back the 1,000 refined blood gold as soon as possible. I'll help you forge a spear as soon as possible. Old Huang waved his hand and said. His eyes were once again fixed on the broken spear. Lu Ming and Mulins left Elder Huang's stone house. Lu Ming, the weapon forging sect, is extremely far from the Profound Heaven City. It's in the north of the Profound Heaven region. I heard that the battle between the Heavenly Corpse sect and the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace is the most intense there. You have to be careful. Mulins warned. She was a little worried. Senior Sister Mulins, don't worry. I'm only going to get the 1,000 refined blood gold. I won't participate in the battle. Don't worry. Lu Ming smiled. Oh, then when do you plan to set off? Mulins asked. Half a month later. Lu Ming replied. Since Elder Huang had to comprehend the inscriptions on the broken spear, he wouldn't be able to refine the infinite black gold so quickly. Lu Ming had the Thunderwind spear to use now, so he wasn't in a hurry. Lu Ming planned to cultivate in the Profound Heaven City for a period of time and refine the remaining fire profound crystals before heading to the weapon forging sect. And that's good too. Mulins nodded. The two chatted as they walked. After a while, Mulins bid farewell to Lu Ming and returned. Lu Ming returned to the courtyard alone. The first thing he did was to take out the Heavenly Star Sword. Powerful true yuan poured into the surface of the Heavenly Star Sword. Lu Ming sensed that the center of the Heavenly Star Sword was indeed hollow. Clang. His true yuan shook violently. Now that Lu Ming's true yuan was so powerful, the Heavenly Star Sword couldn't withstand it at all. It cracked and shattered into pieces with a bang. Something was revealed from the Heavenly Star Sword. This is... Seeing the thing inside the Heavenly Star Sword, Lu Ming's pupils shrank in shock. The thing inside the Heavenly Star Sword was actually a small jade sword. It was the size of a finger and was sparkling and translucent. More importantly, Lu Ming had seen this kind of jade sword before. Back in the Blazing Sun Empire, Xian Yanqing had obtained a jade sword in the Dongyi tribe's ruins. It was exactly the same as the one before him. At that time, Lu Ming had said that he wanted to use a king's storage ring to exchange for it, but Xian Yanqing had refused. The jade sword that Xian Yanqing had obtained was exactly the same as the one before him. Just what was the relationship between the two jade swords? Could it be that the jade sword that Xian Yanqing had obtained was also related to the martial monarch's treasure? Lu Ming frowned as he pondered. How do I use this jade sword? Lu Ming fiddled with it for a while. Then he carefully poured his true yuan into the jade sword. Buzz. The jade sword trembled slightly. Then, inscriptions appeared on the surface of the sword. The inscriptions glowed, and a picture appeared in the air. To be more precise, it was a map with densely packed routes marked on it. There was also a line of words beside the map. Lu Ming came to a realization after reading it. This was indeed a map, and this jade sword was the key to the martial monarch's treasure. Most importantly, there were a total of 9 keys to the martial monarch's treasure. The martial monarch's treasure could only be opened when all 9 keys were gathered. 9 keys? Lu Ming let out a wry smile. It seems like Xian Yanqing's jade sword is most likely the key to the martial monarch's treasure, but where are the other keys? Have they fallen into someone else's hands? How can I gather them? Lu Ming kept thinking. He had no idea how long it would take to reach the martial monarch's treasure. Forget it, with my current cultivation, it would be very dangerous to enter the martial monarch's treasure. I should wait and see. Cultivation is the most important thing now. Having this thought, Lu Ming carefully put away the jade sword and adjusted his state of mind. He then began to cultivate diligently. He continued to comprehend the fire intent with the fire esoteric crystal. Chapter 549. Half a month later, Lu Ming had refined all the remaining fire profound crystals. Lu Ming's fire essence had reached the peak of level 1 lesser success. The next step would be level 1 greater success. Level 1 lesser success of fire essence. Does that mean I can reach the peak of LV6 Martial King realm now? Lu Ming's eyes sparkled with anticipation. If his cultivation reached the peak of LV6 Martial King realm, Lu Ming was confident that he could fight a King realm expert. Even a King realm expert of LV7 Martial King realm would be no match for him. Thinking of this, Lu Ming immediately took out a large amount of supreme spiritual crystals. He planned to improve his cultivation first before going to the forging sect. Bang, bang, bang. A total of 50,000 supreme-grade spiritual crystals exploded. The 9 dragons' bloodline roared and devoured all the energy of the crystals. Then he began to refine them like crazy. However, after an hour, Lu Ming opened his eyes and stopped cultivating. His eyes were full of confusion. What's going on? Why is 90% of the energy in the crystals gone? Why can't I absorb it? Why is my cultivation increasing so slowly? Lu Ming frowned. When he was cultivating, he found that most of the energy from the crystals could not be absorbed by him and turned into genuine qi. Instead, it flowed out of his body and dissipated. Most of the 50,000 supreme spiritual crystals were wasted. Lu Ming had never encountered such a situation before. Essence, wind essence. When I was cultivating, the fire and thunder essences were too strong, and the wind essence was too weak. A huge gap was formed, which led to the loss of energy. Lu Ming kept thinking in his mind and finally came to this conclusion. But before, my thunder essence was the best, and the other 2 essences had not condensed any essence runes. Why didn't this happen? What's going on? Is it because the other 2 essences had not condensed any essence runes, so it was fine? But once they all condensed essence runes, this would happen? Yes, it must be so. Thinking of this, Lu Ming shook his head and smiled bitterly. The drawbacks of cultivating so many concepts were finally beginning to show. When all the intents condensed into intent runes, all the intents had to be roughly balanced in order to increase one's cultivation. If many intents lost their balance, it would be very difficult to increase one's cultivation. Now, the concept of fire was much stronger than the concept of wind. It had exceeded a level. It was no wonder that others said that cultivating several states at the same time would become increasingly difficult. This didn't just mean that there would be a huge resistance when condensing concept runes. That was only one of the reasons. But when multiple intents were condensed into intent runes, an even greater drawback appeared. He had to cultivate many different intents at the same time and maintain a balance in order to increase his cultivation. If you gave up on all the other intents and only cultivated one type of intent after condensing all the intent runes, then even if you cultivated that intent to a high level, it would be very difficult for your cultivation to increase. If someone wanted to raise a concept first, then raise their cultivation, and then turn around to raise other concepts, it would not work. This was equivalent to stepping onto a path of no return. Once he stepped onto it, he would have to walk to the end. However, a person's energy was extremely limited. Their lifespan was also limited. One had to maintain multiple intents at the same time in order to increase one's cultivation. This speed was too slow. There were such people in history who cultivated multiple intents at the same time. But in the end, because they had to comprehend every single intent, their cultivation speed was extremely slow. In the end, their lifespan was exhausted and they turned into dust. Some people were even peerless geniuses. If they cultivated only one intent, their achievements would be limitless. But in the end, their ambitions were too great and they died on this path. There were too few people who could complete this path. They were all rare geniuses. Nest, if I had known, I wouldn't have cultivated the concept of fire to such a high level. Lu Ming was somewhat speechless. However, Lu Ming wasn't too worried. He had the Enlightenment Ancient Tree. Even if he cultivated 3 intents at the same time, his speed would still be faster than others. Moreover, as long as the Enlightenment Ancient Tree grew in the future, his speed of comprehending the concept of heaven and earth would definitely be faster. Forget it. Next, I'll focus on comprehending the concept of wind. I originally wanted to put it aside, but it looks like I can't. I'd better go to the forging sect first. I'll cultivate on the way. Lu Ming muttered. Immediately after, Lu Ming stood up and left the courtyard. Not long after, Lu Ming left the profound heaven city. He soared into the sky and flew towards the north. The forging sect was located in the northern part of the profound heaven region. It was located at the intersection of the central and northern parts of the profound heaven region. It was extremely far away from the profound heaven region. Currently, the Heavenly Corpse sect had already occupied the northern part of the profound heaven region. The vast territory was completely under the Heavenly Corpse sect's control. Currently, the territory of the forging sect was at the front line of the war between the Heavenly Corpse sect and the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. It was extremely chaotic there. Lu Ming wasn't in a hurry. Not long after he left the profound heaven region, he rushed into a large mountain and captured a half-step king-level swift gale eagle. He sat cross-legged on the swift gale eagle and flew towards the forging sect. The swift gale eagle's speed was extremely fast. A half-step king-level swift gale eagle's speed wasn't inferior to some martial king-level cultivators. Moreover, its endurance was extremely good. Lu Ming could use the swift gale eagle to travel while cultivating and comprehending the concept of wind. Lu Ming took out the Tao comprehending ancient tree and placed it beside him. Then he took out a profound wind crystal. He had a total of 40 profound wind crystals on him, all of which he had won from the Xing clan in a bet. Crushing the profound wind crystal, Lu Ming started to comprehend the concept of wind. Just like this, Lu Ming traveled while cultivating. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, a month had passed. In a month's time, he had already refined all 40 profound wind crystals. As for the concept of wind, he had also made a breakthrough. He was only a step away from the initial success of the first stage. At this time, Lu Ming had also arrived at the territory near the forging sect. This territory was in the middle of the war between the Heavenly Corpse sect and the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. The forging sect was also a subsidiary power of the Heavenly Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. Naturally, they would stand on the Heavenly Emperor Heaven Divine Palace's side against the Heavenly Corpse sect. Go! Lu Ming patted the swift gale eagle that he had been riding for a month. Then, his figure moved and he flew forward alone. At this point, the swift gale eagle was already useless. Bush. Lu Ming hadn't flown for long when the sound of something breaking through the air rang out. 2 huge coffins stopped in front of Lu Ming. They were from the Heavenly Corpse sect. Hee, my luck is pretty good today. I just came out for a walk and I met a little brat. His cultivation seems to be pretty good. I can take him back and refine him into a new corpse. A dry laugh came from the coffin. Today's one should be mine. The next one should be yours. An unpleasant voice came out from the other coffin. All right, I'll let you have him. Let's end this quickly. After dealing with this little brat, we'll go elsewhere and see if there's any prey. The voice from the previous coffin sounded out again. The prey you're talking about, is it me? Lu Ming had a faint smile on his face. Nonsense, if it's not you, then who is it? Little brat, don't even think about escaping. You won't be able to escape from the 2 of us. Chapter 550. Is that so? Lu Ming sneered and formed a long spear with his true essence. The long spear quickly grew to 1,000 meters long and whipped toward the 2 coffins. Its power was extremely shocking. No, it's a king of lower success. How is this possible? Two panicked cries came from the coffins. At the same time, the coffins flew backward, trying to escape. But how could they escape? Boom! The huge spear light directly hit the two coffins. The coffins exploded and 6 figures appeared. 2 old zombie guards and 4 refined corpses. The 2 zombie guards were 3rd layer Martial King Realm, and the 4 refined corpses were also 3rd layer Martial King Realm. However, under Lu Ming's spear light, they could not withstand a single blow. The spear light shrouded and suppressed them. The 2 zombie guards screamed and were torn apart along with the 4 refined corpses. His true essence rolled up and put away the 2 storage rings. Then, Lu Ming did not stop and continued to move forward. After a few hundred miles, a series of explosions came from the front. Someone was fighting. Lu Ming frowned and pondered for a while. Then he walked toward the direction of the sound. 10 miles away, 2 parties were fighting. One party was obviously from the Heavenly Corpse sect. The other party had a total of 6 people. One of them was a young woman in her 20s. She was as beautiful as a flower. There were 2 other young men, and the remaining 3 were middle-aged men. But now, the 6 of them were completely at a disadvantage and were surrounded by the people of the Heavenly Corpse sect. The Heavenly Corpse sect had 8 zombie guards and 17 refined corpses. Their strength was far above the 6 people. Lu Ming quietly appeared not far away. He hid in a remote place and looked forward. The strongest zombie guards are 2 mid-4th layer Martial King Realm. Lu Ming could tell the cultivation level of everyone present at one glance. On the Heavenly Corpse sect's side, there were 2 4th layer Martial King Realm kings controlling 4 refined corpses. The other corpse guards were either 3rd layer Martial Emperor Realm or 2nd layer Martial Emperor Realm. As for the group of 6, there was only one middle-aged man with a cultivation of the peak 4th layer Martial Emperor Realm. The other 2 middle-aged men were only at the 3rd layer Martial Emperor Realm. As for the 2 young men and the young woman, they were all 2nd layer Martial Emperor Realm cultivators. They were relying on the middle-aged man with a cultivation of the peak 4th layer Martial Emperor Realm to barely resist the attacks from all directions. However, he would not be able to hold on for long on his own. Kaka, that little girl is not bad. She's so soft and tender. I'll catch her and play with her. Then I'll refine her into a refined corpse and bring her along with me every day. That would be a great joy in life, Kaka. A shriveled old zombie guard let out an ear-piercing laugh. He was one of the 2 mid-4th level Martial King zombie guards. Old ghost, don't even think about it. I'd rather die than submit. The young woman cried out with a pale face. You would rather die than submit? If you die, I can refine you into a refined corpse, hee. The old zombie guard let out a weird laugh. The young woman's face turned even paler. She then clenched her teeth, and lines of inscriptions appeared on her jade-like palms. With a wave of her hands, 3 battle swords danced around her body, before slashing at the old zombie guard. However, they were easily blocked by a refined corpse. What a strange way of attacking. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with curiosity. He realized that the attacking methods of the 6 people were very unique. Just like the young woman, inscriptions appeared on their palms as they controlled several mystical weapons at the same time to attack their opponents. Furthermore, the power that each spirit weapon could unleash was extremely powerful. The martial artists that Lu Ming had seen before usually used a mystical weapon in order to unleash the strongest power of their martial skills. For example, Lu Ming was able to unleash the strongest power of his spear art with a long spear. As for those who used a battle sword, they were able to unleash the strongest power of their sword art. It was Lu Ming's first time seeing someone controlling several mystical weapons at the same time. However, although the method of controlling the mystical weapons was mysterious, the difference in strength was too great. They were no match for the 6 people. Not long after, 2 middle-aged 3rd layer Martial King Realm men were injured and vomited blood. Big brother, take the young lady and break out of the encirclement. We'll hold them off here. One of the men yelled at the peak 4th layer Martial King Realm man. That's right, nothing can happen to the young lady. The other man also yelled. No, we'll leave together. The young woman yelled. Hee hee, you want to leave? How is that possible? Today, none of you will leave. The old zombie guard sneered. Big brother, quick, take the young lady and break out of here to find reinforcements. One of the men continued to yell. Alright. The fourth layer Martial King Realm man clenched his teeth and madly charged in one direction, while yelling, Young lady, follow me, break out. Trying to break out? In your dreams, deal with that guy with all your strength. The old zombie guard sneered as he controlled the refined corpse to pounce at the man without fear of death. At the same time, the other fourth layer Martial King Realm zombie guard also controlled the refined corpse to pounce at the man. The man controlled 4 sabers at the same time and slashed wildly, but it was useless as they were all blocked. Damn it! He let out a furious roar, his voice filled with despair. Kaka, don't even think about escaping. Little beauty, serve this old man obediently. If you serve this old man well, this old man might be merciful and not refine you into a refined corpse. The old zombie guard sneered. Old bastard, go to hell. The young woman was in despair as she clenched her teeth and attacked the old zombie guard. However, she was easily blocked by a third layer Martial King Realm refined corpse. The zombie guard of the Heavenly Corpse sect did not seem to be in a hurry to kill them. It teased the young woman and the others like a cat playing with a mouse. Oh, I see. Lu Ming glanced to the east and west as a cold grin appeared on his face. He discovered that there were auras hiding in the east and west. Although the auras were very weak, Lu Ming could still sense them. The auras were all from the zombie guards of the Heavenly Corpse sect. They're trying to attract the young woman's reinforcements and catch them all in one fell swoop. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. However, the strongest aura among them is only at the 5th layer Martial King Realm. Lu Ming let out a cold grin as he no longer concealed himself and walked out in large strides. Who's there? As soon as Lu Ming walked out, the zombie guard of the Heavenly Corpse sect noticed Lu Ming and yelled. Of course it's the one who's here to kill you. Lu Ming sneered. Hee hee, little bastard, you're alone? You're courting death. The old zombie guard let out a strange laugh. At this moment, the young woman and the others also looked at Lu Ming. When they saw that Lu Ming was alone and was so young, they were immediately disappointed. Young hero, leave quickly, don't worry about us. The young woman yelled. Lu Ming was alone. If they did not leave, they would also be killed. Beauty, it's okay. I'll leave after I kill these monsters of the Heavenly Corpse sect. Lu Ming smiled brightly at the young woman. Chapter 551. Brat, you're talking big. Kill him. The old zombie guard waved his hand. Immediately, a third layer Martial King zombie guard controlled a third layer Martial King refined corpse to attack Lu Ming. Bang. Lu Ming lifted his leg and kicked the zombie guard away. It flew at least 1,000 meters and hit a cliff, almost breaking it. It lay there motionless. Everyone was dumbfounded. A third layer Martial King refined corpse was destroyed by Lu Ming with a kick. Was it still a refined corpse with copper skin and iron bones? When did it become so fragile? Fourth layer Martial King, you're a fourth layer Martial King. The old zombie guard yelled. They were shocked that he had reached the fourth layer Martial King at such a young age. The eyes of the young woman and the others also lit up. With one more fourth layer Martial King Lesser Success King, they might have a chance to rush out. Little brother, come and help me. Let's rush out together. The man at the peak fourth layer Martial King yelled. However, Lu Ming did not seem to hear him. He said with a smile, Why rush out? Just kill them. After saying this, Lu Ming walked toward the old zombie guard step by step. Brat, so what if you're a fourth layer Martial King? You want to kill me? In your dreams. The old zombie guard roared and immediately controlled a fourth layer Martial King zombie guard to attack Lu Ming. 5 or 6 black iron chains pierced toward Lu Ming. There was a faint smile at the corner of Lu Ming's mouth. He stretched out his hand and grabbed 5 to 6 iron chains. Then, he activated the thunder essence and shook his arm. Sizzle, a huge force of thunder and lightning followed the iron chains and blasted toward the fourth layer Martial King refined corpse. Bang. The refined corpse was directly burned into charcoal by the force of thunder and lightning. At this moment, the old zombie guard's face changed. His dry and pale face turned pale and his eyes flashed with shock. How could he so easily defeat a fourth-layer Martial King realm refined corpse? How was that possible? This young man's combat strength was too strong. As for the young woman and the others, their eyes lit up. Perhaps they would be saved today. You are a Dtion Divine Guard. You are a genius among the Dtion Divine Guards. The old zombie guard shouted. To have such a cultivation base and battle prowess at such a young age, he could only be a top genius among the Dtion Divine Guards. You guessed right. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Kakik, it's worth it to be able to kill a genius from the Dtion Divine Guard today. Do it. The old zombie guard sneered, then suddenly roared, his voice spreading far and wide. Bush, bush. In the next moment, a deafening sonic boom echoed from the east and west as coffins flew over one after another. On each side, there were more than 20 coffins. In total, there were more than 50 coffins in both directions. Ambush, there's an ambush. At this moment, the faces of the young woman and the others were as pale as paper, and they were filled with despair. Young hero, leave quickly. Don't worry about us. The young woman shouted. Lu Ming smiled faintly. This young lady was kind-hearted. However, this was already within Lu Ming's expectations. More than 50 zombie guards. Fortunately, I still have a lot of soul-sealing crystals on me. When I seal their souls and bring them back, they will all be rewards. Lu Ming thought to himself. The rewards for sealing the souls of the Heavenly Corpse sex zombie guards were not limited to the scaled demon plane. It was the same in other places. As long as one killed the zombie guards, sealed their souls, and brought them back, there would be rewards. Young hero, leave quickly. Seeing Lu Ming standing still, the young woman became anxious. It's too late to leave now. The old zombie guard sneered. Bush. The coffins flew above everyone's heads from 2 different directions. They were so dark that they blocked the sunlight in the sky. Bang. At this moment, Lu Ming stomped on the ground and his figure soared into the sky, dashing toward the high altitude. He wants to escape, stop him. The old zombie guard shouted. Several iron chains flew out from one of the coffins and wrapped around Lu Ming. Lu Ming waved his hand and sent them flying. Lu Ming rushed into the sky. Escape? Who wants to escape? Lu Ming's indifferent voice came out. In the next moment, Lu Ming looked down and took a step. After taking a step forward, he took another step forward. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Ming took 3 steps in a row. 9 dragons heaven-stomping steps, 3 steps in a row. Boom. The whole world seemed to be about to explode. An incomparably terrifying force violently rushed towards the coffins. Bang, bang, bang. More than 50 coffins exploded as if they were made of paper. Several figures appeared from the coffins. Some of the zombie guards with weaker cultivations directly exploded, dying tragically on the spot. Some of the stronger zombie guards also spat out large mouthfuls of blood. 10,000 dragons kill. As the 3 intents gathered, Lu Ming's spear shuddered and fired at least a few hundred spear glows, which transformed into a few hundred tricolor dragons that lunged at the zombie guards. Cries of agony could be heard. Regardless of the zombie guards' cultivation level, they were all unable to resist the attacks. Their bodies were torn apart by the tricolor dragons, and their corpses fell to the ground like raindrops. For a moment, only some of the stronger refined corpses remained in the air, as motionless as a log. More than 50 zombie guards were killed in an instant. Below, everyone was stunned, no longer fighting. They just stood there, staring blankly at the sky, completely petrified. Heavens, more than 50 zombie guards, including more than 10 4th-layer and 5th-layer martial emperors, were killed in an instant. Not a single one managed to escape. What kind of strength was that? Was he a greater success emperor? But, a greater success emperor at such a young age? How many were there in the Tianxian region? The crowd could not wrap their heads around it. After a while, The old zombie guard came to his senses and screamed in fear. He frantically ran to one side. But swoosh! A spear glow fell from the sky and nailed him to the ground. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Then, spear after spear fell and nailed the other zombie guards to the ground, leaving none alive. Then, Lu Ming waved his hand and more than 50 soul-sealing crystals flew out. They sealed the souls of all the zombie guards and stored them away. There are only so many soul-sealing crystals left. If we kill more zombie guards, there won't be any left. Lu Ming sighed. If he had known earlier, he would have bought more soul-sealing crystals. After storing them away, Lu Ming moved and appeared beside the young woman and the others. "Greetings, Lord Divine Guard." Apart from the young woman, the others quickly bowed to Lu Ming. Such a young and powerful D. Tian Divine Guard must have a high status in the D. Tian Divine Palace. Naturally, they were respectful. No need to be so polite. I just happened to pass by. The Heavenly Corpse sect and the D. Tian Divine Guard are mortal enemies. Since I saw you, I naturally won't let you go. Lu Ming said with a smile. Lord Divine Guard, you are so powerful. Your name is Xian Xiang. May I know your name? The young woman's eyes lit up as she looked at Lu Ming. It was her first time seeing such a young and powerful genius. I am Lu Ming. Chapter 552. Master Lu Ming, you're so powerful. The geniuses of our crafting sect are nothing compared to you. Xian Xiang looked at Lu Ming with sparkling eyes. Ahem. Lu Ming felt a little embarrassed. He coughed a few times before he came to his senses. Are you from the forging sect? Yes, my father is the sect leader of the crafting sect. Xian Xiang had no ulterior motives. She said it directly. She stared at Lu Ming curiously. Miss, please mind your manners. The burly man reminded her. And what? Master Lu Ming is one of us. Xian Xiang chuckled. Lu Ming smiled as well. This Xian Xiang was obviously a young lady who had no experience and was not scheming. Miss Xian Xiang, everyone, I'm going to the crafting sect to look for your sect leader. Lu Ming said. You're going to the crafting sect to look for my father? That's great. Let's go together. Xian Xiang's eyes lit up. But Lu Ming nodded. The others were also overjoyed. With Lu Ming with them, they had nothing to fear from the Heavenly Corpse sect. Then, the group of people went on their way to the north. Sir Lu Ming, you are really amazing. You are so powerful at such a young age. How did you cultivate? Master Lu Ming, you're so powerful. What's your rank in the Imperial Sky Divine Guards? How many geniuses like you are in the Imperial Sky Divine Guards? Master Lu Ming, do you have a girlfriend? Why don't I introduce one to you? I'll introduce myself. Hee. I'm just kidding. Master Lu Ming, I heard that Sheng Xingchen is the #1 genius in the Tianxian domain and is on the list of top 1,000 talents. How do you compare to him, Master Lu Ming? Have you seen him before, Master Lu Ming? Along the way, Xian Xiang followed by Lu Ming's side, her mouth rattling, asking nonstop. Lu Ming smiled bitterly and cast a pleading look at the others beside him. However, they all revealed helpless expressions and turned their heads away, pretending that they did not see anything. Lu Ming felt a headache coming on. After flying for hundreds of miles, Xian Xiang asked at least dozens of questions. At this moment, Lu Ming's reinforcements arrived. Whoosh, whoosh. In front of them, the sound of something breaking through the air rang out. More than 50 people were flying towards them at an extremely fast speed. Every one of them had a strong aura. They were obviously experts. The leader was a young man in a white robe. It's Shen Zhong. A burly man at the side said. Soon, more than 50 people arrived. Xiang, are you all right? The young man in the lead looked at Xian Xiang with concern and asked. It would be strange if we were fine. If it were up to you, we would have died long ago. Why did you come so late? Xian Xiang curled her lips and snorted coldly. Xian Zhong's face changed and said, Did you guys meet someone from the Heavenly Corpse sect? Nonsense, of course we met. If it wasn't for Master Lu Ming, you wouldn't be able to see me. Let me introduce you guys. This is Master Lu Ming, a Tian Divine Guard. Master Lu Ming is a peerless genius. Those corpse guards were killed by Master Lu Ming in a few moves. This is the first time I've seen such a powerful genius. Xian Xiang stood beside Lu Ming and introduced him to everyone with a look of admiration. However, she did not see that a trace of coldness flashed in Xian Zhong's eyes. Tian Divine Guard? Xiang, he really is a member of the Tian Divine Guard. Don't be fooled by him. Maybe he was sent by the Heavenly Corpse sect to get close to you. You also know that people from the Heavenly Corpse sect have been appearing more frequently around the weapon forging sect recently. Xian Zhong looked at Lu Ming unkindly and said coldly, "You're talking nonsense. Master Lu Ming is so powerful. He must be a genius among the Tian Divine Guards. Moreover, he killed so many corpse guards in a few moves. If he's from the Heavenly Corpse sect, how could he kill so many corpse guards? Moreover, those disgusting fellows from the Heavenly Corpse sect are all so ugly. How could they be as good-looking as Master Lu Ming?" Xian Xiang retorted loudly. Lu Ming smiled bitterly at the side. Xian Xiang was really naive and innocent. Xian Zhong was obviously interested in Xian Xiang, but Xian Xiang still praised Lu Ming. Didn't this make Xian Zhong even more unhappy? As expected, Xian Zhong's face became even gloomier. A trace of killing intent flashed in his eyes. He looked at Lu Ming and said, "Lu Ming, right? Now that I've arrived, we're going back to the weapon forging sect. Please leave." In other words, he wanted Lu Ming to leave. "Hey Shenzhong, why are you like this? What's with your attitude? Master Lu Ming saved me before. Moreover, he's going to the weapon forging sect to see my father. He can go back with us." Xian Xiang's face darkened and she said unhappily, "He's going to the weapon forging sect too? No, what if he has evil intentions?" Xian Zhong said with a gloomy face, "This is my Divine Guard token. Do you want to take a look?" Before Xian Zhong could finish his words, Lu Ming interrupted him and took out his Divine Guard token. Lu Ming was going to the weapon forging sect to ask for the 1,000 refined blood gold. He couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with Xian Zhong. Seeing Lu Ming take out his Divine Guard token, Xian Zhong's face became even gloomier. The weapon forging sect was affiliated to the Tian Divine Palace. Since Lu Ming was really a Tian Divine Guard, Xian Zhong had no reason to stop Lu Ming from going to the weapon forging sect. I already said that Master Lu Ming is a genius among the Tian Divine Guards. Someone didn't believe me. Xian Xiang snorted coldly. This made Xian Zhong's face turn even uglier. "Let's go. Let's go back to the weapon forging sect." Xian Zhong waved his hand and led the way. The group continued to head towards the north. Along the way, Xian Xiang followed Lu Ming and chatted with him. From Xian Xiang, Lu Ming found out that Xian Zhong was the only son of the weapon forging sect's great elder. He was also the #1 genius among the younger generation in the weapon forging sect. He was only 28 years old and he had already reached Martial King Realm lower tier. Lu Ming nodded his head. Such talent was considered top-notch even in the Tian Divine Palace, where geniuses were as common as clouds. Lu Ming could also tell that Xian Xiang had some feelings for Xian Zhong. Lu Ming naturally didn't think that Xian Xiang liked him. Xian Xiang was just a simple-minded girl who worshipped experts. When she saw a genius like Lu Ming for the first time, she naturally admired him and was curious about him. However, she didn't like him. In front of them, Xian Zhong's face turned gloomier when he saw Xian Xiang and Lu Ming chatting happily. Murderous intent constantly flashed in his eyes. They chatted as they hurried on. Soon, they had covered a distance of 10,000 miles. A huge and majestic mountain appeared in front of them. This was the weapon forging sect. Following Xian Xiang, they entered the weapon forging sect without any obstructions and arrived at the peak of the mountain. "Miss Xian Xiang, young Master Xian Zhong, you are back. The sect master and the elders are having a meeting in the meeting hall. I'll inform them about it," a white-haired old man said as he appeared in front of them. All right. Grandpa Zhang, please inform my father that Lu Ming, the Tian Divine Guard of the Tian Divine Palace, has something to discuss with him." Xian Xiang nodded her head. Oh, all right. Chapter 553. Not long after, the white-haired elder returned. Miss Xian Xiang, the sect master has asked you to enter. The elder said. Immediately, Lu Ming, Xian Xiang, and Xian Zhong followed the elder into the hall. As for the others, they dispersed. They followed the elder and passed through several checkpoints before arriving at a large hall. There were 8 people sitting in the hall. Sitting at the top was a middle-aged man with a square face. He was extremely burly. Father! Xian Xiang called out with a smile as soon as she came in. This burly man was the sect master of the crafting sect, Xianlong. I heard that you were attacked by the corpse guards of the Heavenly Corpse sect. How are you? Are you all right? You little girl, I told you not to run around but you didn't listen. Xianlong stood up from his seat and walked down. He looked at Xian Xiang carefully and scolded her with a smile. Obviously, Xianlong had received the news that Xian Xiang and the others had encountered the corpse guards. Father, I'm blessed with good fortune. I have a benefactor to help me. What are you afraid of? Come, let me introduce you. This is Lu Ming, a peerless genius among the Tian divine guards. Those zombie guards are powerless in the hands of Lord Lu Ming. Be it novice kings, all of them are useless. Xian Xiang pulled Xianlong's arm and said with a smile. Then, she looked at Lu Ming and introduced him to Xianlong. Xianlong and the others smiled. They did not pay much attention to Xian Xiang's words about Lu Ming's strength. Lu Ming looked like he was in his 20s. Even if he was a genius among the divine guards, how strong could his cultivation be? How strong could his combat strength be? It was already amazing for him to reach the 4th level Martial King realm. In their opinion, Xian Xiang was innocent and rarely went out. She was just a little excited to see a decent genius. However, Lu Ming was after all a divine guard. There were still some rules that could not be ignored. Xianlong cupped his fists and said, Little brother Lu Ming, thank you for saving us this time. You're welcome, Sect Master Xian. It's just a small matter. Lu Ming returned the gesture. I heard that you have something to ask me. What is it? Xianlong said. Sect leader Xian, it's like this. Elder Huang asked me to come. Lu Ming did not beat around the bush. He took out the small pagoda that Elder Huang had given him. Elder Huang. At this moment, not only Xianlong, but the expressions of the others in the hall also changed slightly. It really is Elder Huang. Xianlong sized up Lil Pagoda, his face filled with respect. He couldn't help but think more highly of Lu Ming. According to what he knew, this pagoda was Elder Huang's keepsake. He wouldn't easily give it to others, but now he had given it to Lu Ming. Lu Ming's position in Elder Huang's heart wasn't low. Elder Huang has done me a great favor, and even the weapon forging sect owes him a great favor. It's a pity that he hasn't come to the weapon forging sect for more than 20 years. May I ask why you've called this little brother here? Xianlong asked in a much more polite tone. It's nothing major. Recently, Elder Huang has been wanting to forge a spirit weapon and is lacking materials. He called me here to see if I can ask the sect master for a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold. Lu Ming said. 1,000 refined blood gold. Xianlong and the others' expressions changed once again. 1,000 refined blood gold. You want 1,000 refined blood gold? Impossible, we can't give you 1,000 refined blood gold. A voice rang out. It was Xian Zhong. At this moment, Xian Zhong's expression was extremely ugly. He looked at Lu Ming with hostility and said, Brat, do you know how precious 1,000 refined blood gold is? We don't even have enough people in the crafting sect. The entire crafting sect can only forge one piece of 1,000 refined blood gold in a few years. Who do you think you are to ask for 1,000 refined blood gold? Don't even think about it. Xian Zhong, shut up. What's with your attitude? How dare you speak to little brother Lu like that? Xianlong shouted, glaring at Xian Zhong with rage. Sect master. Xian Zhong was startled by Xianlong's anger and kept his mouth shut. Little brother Lu is here on Elder Huang's request. What is a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold? Little brother Lu, a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold is not a problem. Xianlong said. Sect master, There's only one piece of 1,000 refined blood gold left in the sect. You said it was for me. How can you give it to him now? Xian Zhong shouted again. That's right. At this moment, a man in his 50s with a long beard stood up and said, Sect Master, since we said it was for Zhong, it belongs to him. We can't just give it to him because of Elder Huang's words. If Elder Huang wants it, that's fine. We'll forge another piece of 1,000 refined blood gold in a few years and I'll personally give it to Elder Huang. This man with a long beard was the crafting sect's grand elder and also Xian Zhong's father, Xian Yuan. Xian Long frowned and said, Elder Huang has not only shown great kindness to me, but also to all of you. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are today. We haven't repaid his kindness for many years. Since Elder Huang has spoken, it must be urgent. There's no reason to refuse. I've already made up my mind. This piece of 1,000 refined blood gold will be given to little brother Lu. As for Xian Zhong, we'll wait a few years. No, Sect Master, I refuse to accept this. Xian Zhong shouted, Who knows where this brat came from? Who knows if he was sent by Elder Huang? Even if he was, who does he think he is? How can he take my 1,000 refined blood gold? Impossible, I refuse. Xian Zhong, that piece of 1,000 refined blood gold isn't yours yet. Father only said that he wanted to give it to you, but that was only on purpose. Xian Xiang glared at Xian Zhong. Xiang, even you? Good, very good. Xian Zhong repeatedly said, good, before turning to Lu Ming with a sinister expression. Brat, I don't care who you are or who sent you here. Treasures belong to the strong. If you want the 1,000 refined blood gold, fine, but we'll have to see how capable you are. I heard that you're very strong. Come, let's fight. If you can beat me, I'll give the 1,000 refined blood gold to you. Lu Ming bitterly smiled. He didn't expect that a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold would cause such a commotion. It seemed that the 1,000 refined blood gold was more precious than he had imagined. Lu Ming felt a little embarrassed and said, Brother Xian, there's no need for a fight. How about this? I'll buy the 1,000 refined blood gold with spirit crystals. How about that? Buy it with spirit crystals? Fine, I'll sell it to you as long as you take out 10 million spirit crystals. Xian Zhong sneered. Xian Long frowned at his words. Lu Ming also frowned. Xian Zhong. Xian Xiang glared at Xian Zhong and said, You're clearly making things difficult for him. How can a piece of 1,000 refined blood gold cost 10 million spirit crystals? Xian Zhong clenched his teeth and looked at Lu Ming with disdain. What? Brat, you don't have spirit crystals and you don't dare to fight? What genius of the Empyrean Divine Guards? Bullshit. All you can do is trick Xiang. Show your true colors now. In my opinion, Elder Huang must be lying to you. Lu Ming frowned. Seeing that Lu Ming didn't speak, Xian Zhong became even more aggressive and said, Brat, kneel down and apologize. Then get lost and I'll forgive your crime of deceit. Enough. Xian Zhong, little brother Lu has Elder Huang's token. It can't be fake. In the Tianxin region, if Elder Huang isn't willing, no one can obtain his token. Chapter 554. Sect Master, in my opinion, the reason why Elder Huang called a young man here is to test him. Let the young people settle their own matters. We shouldn't interfere. Xian Yuan said. All right. At this moment, Lu Ming suddenly spoke. He looked at Xian Zhong and said, Since you want to fight, I'll keep you company. All right, I've been waiting for you to say that. Let's fight outside. Seeing that Lu Ming had accepted the challenge, Xian Zhong's eyes flashed coldly and he strode outside. Lu Ming followed closely behind. Xian Long let out a sigh and walked out of the hall with the other elders. That Xian Zhong is really despicable. Xian Xiang snorted. Outside the hall was a spacious square that was perfect for a fight. Lu Ming and Xian Zhong stood opposite each other. Brother Xian, how about we stop when it's appropriate? Lu Ming said. After all, he was the one who came to the blacksmith sect to ask for the 1,000 refined blood gold. Therefore, Lu Ming felt a little embarrassed. Stop when it's appropriate? Hee, on the battlefield, swords have no eyes. If you're afraid, quickly admit defeat. Xian Zhong's aura was imposing. Lu Ming frowned again. Buzz. Buzz. At this moment, Xian Zhong's aura exploded. At the same time, inscriptions appeared on his palm. With a wave of his hand, a total of 5 spiritual weapons appeared. These 5 spirit weapons were all different from each other. There were 2 battle swords, a saber, a spear, and a dagger. Kill! Xian Zhong shouted and pounced on Lu Ming. At the same time, the 5 spiritual weapons also charged at Lu Ming. Buzz. Buzz. The 5 spiritual weapons came from different directions and slashed at Lu Ming's vital points. Their attacks were swift and vicious. It didn't seem like a spar, but a battle. Lu Ming frowned. His figure swayed, avoiding a few spirit weapons and appearing in another direction. Trying to dodge? You wish. That. Xian Zhong's eyes were filled with vicious killing intent. He waved his hands and the 5 spirit weapons continued to attack Lu Ming at lightning speed. The weapon forging sect's method of controlling weapons was truly wondrous. Lu Ming executed his movement technique, wanting to dodge. At this moment, Xian Zhong revealed a ruthless expression and shook his sleeve. Bush, bush, bush. More than 10 sharp piercing sounds could be heard. More than 10 sharp steel needles flew out from Xian Zhong's sleeves and pierced Lu Ming's eyes at lightning speed. Xian Zhong, you're despicable! Xian Xiang shouted. Damn it! Xian Long roared in anger. However, it was too late for him to save Xian Long. At this moment, Xian Long was filled with regret. If he had known this would happen, he would have directly given Lu Ming the 1,000 refined blood metal and allowed Lu Ming to return to the Emperor Heavenly Divine Palace. If Lu Ming died in Xian Zhong's hands, he really didn't know how to explain it to Elder Huang. Don't push your luck. At this moment, Lu Ming's cold voice sounded. Boom. Following which, a terrifying aura exploded from Lu Ming's body. A huge spear radiance shot out from Lu Ming's body and soared into the sky. When the steel needles came into contact with the spear radiance, they exploded and turned into iron powder. Boom! Lu Ming waved his hand and the huge spear radiance swept towards Xian Zhong. Bam! Bam! The 5 spiritual weapons were sent flying a few thousand meters away by the spear radiance. The huge spear radiance continued towards Xian Zhong. Xian Zhong was completely stunned. In front of Lu Ming's terrifying aura, he was like a pitiful worm. Stuff! Grand Elder Xian Yuan shouted from the side. However, would Lu Ming care about him? Bam! The spear radiance struck Xian Zhong's body and sent him flying. He slid a few thousand meters on the square and spat out blood from his mouth. Of course, this was because Lu Ming had purposely held back and only used 10% of his strength. Otherwise, Xian Zhong would have been blasted into nothingness. Xian Yuan rushed over to check on Xian Zhong's injuries. Such powerful combat strength. He is only at the early stage of LV4 Martial King Realm, but his combat strength should be at the late stage of LV5 Martial King Realm or even the peak of LV5 Martial King Realm. Not bad. He is so young and yet he has such cultivation and combat strength. No wonder he is a genius among the Tian Divine Guards. Xian Zhong's defeat is justified. The elders of the blacksmith sect discussed and exclaimed. Xian Zhong was also at the early stage of LV4 Martial King Realm, but he could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. If they knew that Lu Ming had only used 10% of his strength, what would their expressions be? Humph, I told you that Lu Ming is a peerless genius, but Xian Zhong did not listen. Now he is beaten. Xian Xiang snorted and walked over to check on Xian Zhong. Xian Zhong's injuries were not serious. He stood up and looked at Lu Ming in shock. But deep in his eyes, there was a trace of murderous intent, but he hid it. All right, since little brother Lu has won, the 1,000 refined blood gold belongs to little brother Lu. Xian Long announced. He then looked at Lu Ming and smiled. Little brother Lu, the 1,000 refined blood gold is still in the demonic beast blood pool. If you want to take it out, you will have to wait until tomorrow. How about you stay in the blacksmith sect for a night and I will give you the 1,000 refined blood gold tomorrow. No problem. Thank you, Sect Master Xian. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Xian Long then asked someone to arrange a room for Lu Ming. Lord Lu Ming, Let me show you around. There are some interesting places in the blacksmith sect. Xian Xiang smiled. Alright. Lu Ming smiled and nodded. The blacksmith sect was indeed a great blacksmith sect. There were places and secret rooms for blacksmithing everywhere. Lu Ming followed Xian Xiang and wandered around with great interest. As for Xian Xiang, she was also chattering away. Her curiosity was very strong, asking non-stop. Since young, Xian Xiang had always been active in the area around the blacksmith sect. She had never left the sect, so she was very curious about the outside world. Lu Ming also had a good impression of Xian Xiang. Although Xian Xiang was a few years older than Lu Ming, she was like a naughty little sister in front of Lu Ming. Therefore, Lu Ming would briefly talk about the things that could be said. Lu Ming only left Xian Xiang in the evening and returned to his residence. Then, he entered the Temple of Paragon and placed the Enlightenment ancient tree beside him. Lu Ming continued to comprehend the concept of wind. In the blacksmith sect, 3 figures sat in the Grand Elder's living room. One was the Grand Elder, Xin Yuan, and the other was Xian Zhong. The last one was a burly man in his 30s. Father, I will definitely take revenge. I will definitely kill that little bastard Lu Ming. Xian Zhong roared and his eyes were filled with hatred. Don't worry. I don't care if that little bastard is Elder Huang's man. He must die. Xian Yuan's eyes flashed coldly. Father, when are we going to carry out the plan? Xian Zhong asked. You finally thought it through? Are you going to carry out the plan? Xian Yuan asked. I was reluctant to let that bitch Xian Xiang go. But now, that bitch has only seen that little bastard Lu Ming for a short while, and she's already flirting with him. Damn it, all of them deserve to die. Chapter 555. It's good that you've thought it through. How can you be held back by personal feelings when doing great things? Xian Yuan nodded and continued. The Heavenly Corpse sect only used 300 years to expand to its current strength. In my opinion, it won't be long before the Heavenly Corpse sect's strength surpasses the Emperor Sky Divine Palace. If the Weapon Forging sect and Emperor Sky Divine Palace are tied together, the Heavenly Corpse sect will be destroyed sooner or later. How can we die with the Weapon Forging sect? Right now, the Heavenly Corpse sect has set their sights on a treasure in the Weapon Forging sect. They will take action soon. At that time, we will cooperate with the Heavenly Corpse sect and defeat the Weapon Forging sect together. We will be the heroes of the Heavenly Corpse sect. How many more days will it take? But Lu Ming, that little bastard, will leave after taking the 1,000 refined blood gold tomorrow. Xin Zhong said. How about this? After Lu Ming leaves tomorrow, ask your senior brother to go with you. We will kill Lu Ming on the way and take back the 1,000 refined blood gold. Xian Yuan said. Yes, master. The strong man in his 30s replied. How good. Senior brother's cultivation has reached the peak of the 6th Martial King realm. With senior brother's help, it will be more than enough to kill Lu Ming. Xian Zhong laughed. Then, they started to conspire again. The night passed quickly. The next day, Xian Long sent someone to pass on a message. Considering that Lu Ming had been in Tianxian City for a long time, the 1,000 refined blood gold might lose some of its spirituality if it was not used for a long time. Therefore, Xian Long and the rest planned to inscribe a layer of seal on the 1,000 refined blood gold to seal the spirituality of the 1,000 refined blood gold so that the spirituality of the 1,000 refined blood gold would not be lost due to time. Therefore, it would take some time. It would probably be done in the evening. Lu Ming nodded. He did not mind and continued to wait. Sure enough, in the evening, Xian Long asked someone to bring Lu Ming to the meeting hall. When he arrived at the meeting hall, he saw Xian Long and Xian Xiang. There were only the 2 of them here. Little brother, sorry to keep you waiting. That's the 1,000 refined blood gold. Xian Long smiled and pointed to the center of the hall. Sect Master Xian, you're too polite. Lu Ming said and looked at the center of the hall. In the middle of the hall, there was a piece of dark red metal. This piece of metal had been polished into a perfect square, with a length, width, and height of about half a meter. On the surface, there were lines that looked like the growth rings of a tree. There were more than 1,000 of them. On the surface of the 1,000 refined blood gold, there was a layer of glowing inscriptions. It must be the inscription array that Qianlong and the others had set up to prevent the loss of its spirituality. This was 1,000 refined blood gold. Lu Ming walked over and picked it up. His expression changed slightly. This piece of 1,000 refined blood gold was incomparably heavy. Little brother, the 1,000 refined blood gold is forged using a secret technique of the weapon refining sect. It needs to be tempered 1,000 times, and each time, precious metals and the blood essence of demonic beasts are added. The entire process takes 3 years. This piece of 1,000 refined blood gold weighs 999,900 kilograms. Qianlong smiled proudly. Lu Ming was inwardly shocked. This piece of 1,000 refined blood gold weighed almost 1,000,000 pounds. Moreover, the process was so complicated, which showed how precious it was. Lu Ming expressed his gratitude once again and put the 1,000 refined blood gold into his interspatial ring. Lord Lu Ming, if you have time in the future, come visit the weapon refining sect more often. I still have many questions to ask you. Xian Xiang said with some reluctance. Okay. Lu Ming smiled. Girl, all you think about is going out and adventuring. You don't know how dangerous the outside world is. Qianlong scolded with a smile. Sect Master Xian, Miss Xian Xiang, take care of yourselves. If you have the chance, come find me in Profound Heaven City. Lu Ming cupped his fists and bid farewell to Qianlong and Xian Xiang. He then left the weapon refining sect and flew towards Profound Heaven City. Lu Ming finally obtained the 1,000 refined blood gold. He couldn't wait to return to Profound Heaven City and enter seclusion to comprehend the concept of wind. As long as his concept of wind reached lesser success, it would reach a balance with the concepts of lightning and fire. Then, his cultivation could continue to increase. Flying as fast as lightning, tens of thousands of miles passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, the sky had completely darkened. Suddenly, a ghastly white saber gleam slashed toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. His figure flashed and he dodged the saber light. 2 figures appeared in front of him. They stepped on the air and walked towards him. Xian Zhong. Lu Ming's gaze turned cold. One of them was Xian Zhong. The other was a strong man in his 30s. Hee, Lu Ming, let's see where you can run now. Die, the 1,000 refined blood gold is mine. Xian Zhong sneered. Xian Zhong, you really don't give up. I originally wanted to spare your life for Xian Xiang's sake, but you just had to come and die. Lu Ming's gaze also turned cold. Shameless boasting. My father sent my senior brother here. You're dead. Also, don't mention that bitch Xian Xiang in front of me. Speak, did something happen between you two? That bitch is a bitch. And that old man Qianlong, in 2 days, I want them all dead. All dead. Xian Zhong's expression was extremely ferocious. Lu Ming's expression changed as he snapped. What are you going to do to sect leader Xian and the others? Hee, what am I going to do? Let's talk about it when you're in the underworld. Senior brother, kill him. Xian Zhong roared. Bang, bang. The burly man stepped on the void, exuding an incomparably powerful aura. Every step he took in the void produced a clattering sound. Peak 6th layer Martial King Realm. Lu Ming was startled. Lu Ming, my senior brother has reached the peak 6th layer Martial King Realm. He's only 1 step away from breaking through to the greater success stage. You're strong, but are you comparable to my senior brother? That. Xian Zhong laughed excitedly. That. The strong man yelled as his muscles bulged and he slashed out with his saber. The saber light was mighty, slicing the air in half and stirring up gusts of wind. In the blink of an eye, the saber light was about to land on Lu Ming's head. At that moment, a long spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and was placed above his head. Clang! The saber light collided with the spear and a powerful force was emitted. However, Lu Ming's body remained motionless like an ancient sacred mountain. You? Xian Zhong and the strong man's expressions changed drastically. Peak 6th layer Martial King Realm? He. Lu Ming sneered and stepped forward with the long spear in his hand. Mountain-splitting slash. The strong man roared as he unleashed his full strength and slashed out again. This slash was twice as powerful as the previous one. This was the strongest attack the strong man could muster. However, in the next moment, he was in despair. Lu Ming swept out with his long spear and the saber light shattered into nothingness. "Oh no, junior brother, run." The strong man's expression darkened as he yelled. "Whoosh." Lu Ming merged with his spear and performed the extreme Dao strike. The spear light flashed and blood spurted out. The strong man's forehead was pierced through. Then, a devouring force erupted and devoured the strong man's blood essence. "No, no, how could this be?" Xianzhong almost burst into tears as he ran toward the crafting sect. Chapter 556. With his cultivation, there was no way he could escape. Lu Ming took a step forward and appeared behind Xianzhong. The spear struck Xianzhong's shoulder. Xianzhong's body fell to the ground like a meteorite. Boom! Suddenly, a crater with a diameter of tens of meters appeared on the ground. Xianzhong was lying in the crater, blood spurting out of his mouth. Lu Ming appeared beside the crater and looked at Xianzhong coldly. "Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I beg you to let me go." Xianzhong struggled to get up and begged. He was trembling in fear. Now, his life was in Lu Ming's hands. He felt like he was drowning in endless fear. "You said that sect master Xian and the rest would die in 2 days. What do you mean?" Lu Ming asked coldly. "No, nothing. I was just talking nonsense." Xianzhong shook his head. "You don't want to talk? Then you can die." Lu Ming was stunned. Killing intent surged out of him. No, wait. Xianzhong screamed. Lu Ming looked at him coldly. Cold sweat dripped down Xianzhong's face. The Heavenly Corpse sect wants to steal a treasure from the crafting sect. That treasure is with Xianlong. My father has already contacted the Heavenly Corpse sect. In 2 days, we'll launch a surprise attack on the crafting sect. What? You colluded with the Heavenly Corpse sect? Lu Ming was shocked. I've told you everything I know. Please let me go. Xianzhong looked at Lu Ming anxiously. Now, he only wanted to save his life. He did not care about anything else. I'll let you go. Go plead with Sect Master Xian and the rest. Lu Ming waved his hand and True Yuan entered Xianzhong's body, sealing his True Yuan. Then, he carried Xianzhong and flew to the blacksmith sect. Xianzhong's face was pale and he was terrified. Soon he arrived at the blacksmith sect. Someone wants to kill me. Someone wants to harm the blacksmith sect. Just then, Xianzhong shouted crazily. In the silent night, his voice could be heard far away. Who is it? Whoosh! Whoosh! Immediately, several dozen experts flew out from various parts of the crafting school. Deacon Pang, this brat wants to kill me. He wants to steal our sect's treasures. Xianzhong shouted, his face flashing with a sinister look. It's Xianzhong. What? Brat, you're courting death. The weapon refining sect's people furiously roared and attacked Lu Ming. Get out of the way. I have no ill intentions. I have something important to discuss with sect leader Xian. Lu Ming shouted. Don't listen to his nonsense. He's up to no good. Kill him. Xianzhong shouted. He had thrown caution to the wind. When he saw Xianlong and the others, he wouldn't be able to live. He might as well take a gamble now. As long as the weapon forging sect killed Lu Ming, he might still have a chance to live. The people from the weapon forging sect charged towards Lu Ming in a frenzy. Scram! Lu Ming roared. With a sweep of his spear, several experts from the weapon forging sect were sent flying. Lu Ming moved and rushed towards the depths of the weapon forging sect. Save me! Xianzhong shouted. Shut up! If you shout again, I'll kill you! Lu Ming shouted. Go ahead. We're going to die anyway. Kill me. Xianzhong made up his mind and shouted. Bush, bush. Just then, another group of people rushed towards them. This time, there were more than 10 people and they were all martial kings. Lu Ming couldn't be bothered to explain and sent them flying. Soon, he was near the meeting hall of the weapon forging sect. Bastard, you're courting death. At this moment, A cold bellow was heard. Immediately after, a few extremely sharp attacks slashed toward Lu Ming. They were two sabers. "Father, save me." Xian Zhong was overjoyed when he heard the voice. Clang, clang. Lu Ming unleashed his full strength and swept his spear to block the attack. However, his body shook violently and he couldn't help but retreat 1,000 meters. Greater success, King. Lu Ming's face changed. Xian Yuan appeared in front of him with a few spiritual weapons floating beside him. Xian Yuan's face was extremely cold. He rushed towards Lu Ming at lightning speed without any hesitation. With a wave of his hand, the two sabers turned into two cold bolts of lightning and slashed towards Lu Ming. At the same time, 3 spears appeared in a flash and pierced through the void towards Lu Ming. The moment he made his move, he unleashed a barrage of attacks. Xian Yuan had a bad feeling when he saw Xian Zhong in Lu Ming's hands. He had to kill Lu Ming quickly. 1,000 dragons kill. With a shake of his spear, hundreds of tricolor true dragons roared and flew out. On average, there were nearly 100 tricolor true dragons pouncing on each spiritual weapon. "Break!" Xian Yuan shouted coldly as he controlled the spiritual weapons. A terrifying aura burst out from the spiritual weapons. Bang! Bang! The tricolor true dragons exploded one by one and turned into nothingness. The 5 spiritual weapons continued to attack Lu Ming. Lu Ming waved his spear tightly to block the 5 spiritual weapons. Clang! 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 Although the 5 spiritual weapons were blocked, the terrifying force tore through Lu Ming's defense and almost tore his body apart. He was pushed back a few thousand meters and spat out a mouthful of blood. A greater success, King. Realm Level 7 Martial King is indeed powerful. Lu Ming's eyes turned serious. He had already sensed that Xian Yuan's cultivation was Level 7 Martial King. Still not dead? Kill! Xian Yuan shouted angrily. Lu Ming's combat strength was beyond his expectations. "Xian Yuan, if you want your son to die, keep attacking." Lu Ming blocked Xian Zhong in front of him and shouted, "Father, father, save me." Xian Zhong screamed in fear. Xian Yuan's expression kept changing. The next moment, his eyes suddenly turned cold and there was a flash of determination. He waved his hands and the 5 spirit weapons turned into 5 bolts of lightning and charged toward Lu Ming. 2 of the spiritual weapons went straight for Xian Zhong. "No, no!" Xian Zhong shouted. "How cruel! You even killed your son to silence him." Lu Ming's expression changed. He used the 9 dragon sky-stomping steps and retreated quickly. "Stop!" At this moment, a cold shout was heard. Several spiritual weapons tore through the air and collided with Xian Yuan's spiritual weapons. Clang, clang. The violent collision resounded in the sky. Xian Yuan's spiritual weapons were bounced back. A figure appeared in the sky. It was Xianlong Wuxia. Behind Xianlong were other elders of the crafting sect, including Xianxiang. "Master Lu Ming? What's going on?" Xianxiang was confused when she saw Lu Ming and Xian Zhong in Lu Ming's hand. Sect leader, Lu Ming, that little bastard, broke into the crafting sect and tried to kill Zhong. Luckily I found him. I suggest we attack now and kill him. Xian Yuan shouted with a cold look in his eyes. "Ha, Xian Yuan, you've done something wrong. Are you afraid that I'll say it, so you want to kill me?" Lu Ming laughed. "Kid, what are you talking about?" Chapter 557. However, Xianlong moved and stood in front of Xian Yuan. "I believe Brother Lu wouldn't attack Xian Zhong for no reason. Why don't we listen to what's going on? Let's get to the bottom of this." Xianlong said. "Sect leader." Xian Yuan panicked. "All right, that's enough." Xianlong waved his hand. The coldness in Xian Yuan's eyes intensified. He knew that he could not kill Lu Ming with Xianlong's help. Stealthily, he gave one of the elders a look. That elder nodded slightly, and then slowly retreated, disappearing into the darkness. No one noticed. "Brother Lu, what's going on?" Xianlong looked at Lu Ming and asked. "Yes, Master Lu Ming, what's going on? How is Xian Zhong?" Xianxiang asked as she looked at Xian Zhong in Lu Ming's hand. Sect Master Xian, before I left the crafting sect, I ran into this Xian Zhong and one of his senior brothers. They tried to kill me on the way. Lu Ming said. What? Xian Zhong, how dare you? Xian Long roared. Xian Zhong, you? How could you do such a thing? Xian Xiang also looked at Xian Zhong with disappointment. Xian Zhong lowered his head. His eyes were full of disappointment, but he didn't say anything. Nonsense, you bastard. You're the one who wanted to kill Zhong. Xian Yuan shouted again. Shut up, old man. You're brainless, but do you think others are brainless too? I barged in from the outside and everyone saw it. Based on what you're saying, I barged in first and took Xian Zhong away. Then I brought Xian Zhong out and barged in from the outside so that you could stop me? Lu Ming shouted. Xian Yuan's face turned red. He just wanted to pin a crime on Lu Ming. He did not expect there to be so many loopholes. He could not bring himself to say anything. Xian Yuan, are you the one who ordered this? Xian Long's face turned ugly as he looked at Xian Yuan. Wait a minute. Sect leader Xian, killing me on the way is just a small matter. Just now, I heard something from Xian Zhong that is a big matter. Lu Ming shouted. Hearing this, Xian Yuan's expression changed drastically and he slowly stepped back. Something big? What is it? Xian Long asked. Grand Elder Xian Yuan has already colluded with the Heavenly Corpse sect. In 2 days, he'll join forces with the Heavenly Corpse sect to take down the crafting school. Lu Ming shouted. These words were like rolling thunder, exploding in the minds of everyone in the crafting school. What did you say? Xian Long's face was filled with disbelief. The others also looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. This was too shocking. Sect leader Xian Zhong said it himself. Lu Ming said, Nonsense. Venomous slander. Sect leader, Lu Ming is trying to drive a wedge between us. I suggest that we kill him immediately. Xian Yuan roared. Xian Yuan, you still dare to quibble? But you're really ruthless. You even wanted to kill Xian Zhong just to shut me up. He's your biological son. Lu Ming sneered. Then he said to Xian Zhong, do you still want to help such an unscrupulous father hide it? When the Heavenly Corpse sect takes down the crafting school, everyone you know will die. What's the point of living then? Also, there's nothing between me and Xian Xiang. On the contrary, she told me that she likes you, but you always misunderstood her. Lu Ming's words made Xian Zhong tremble slightly. He raised his head and looked at Xian Xiang. Xian Zhong, what's going on? Tell me. Xian Xiang shouted. Xian Zhong's eyes flickered. Then he looked at Xian Yuan and said, Father, let's stop. We've made great contributions to the crafting school for generations. I believe that the sect leader and the elders will forgive us. Let's stop. Xian Zhong's words were like thunder. Everyone looked at Xian Yuan in unison. Xian Yuan, how dare you? Xian Long roared, his hair and beard fluttering. Bastard, you're so useless. You can't achieve great things because of your personal feelings. If I knew this would happen, I would have killed you. Xian Yuan looked at Xian Zhong coldly. Then he looked at Lu Ming and sneered, Little bastard, you ruined my plan. I'll make sure you die a horrible death. As soon as he finished speaking, Xian Yuan retreated hastily. Oh no, he's leaving. Lu Ming shouted. Stay. Xian Long roared and chased after Xian Yuan. Xiang, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Xian Zhong shouted. Xian Xiang looked at Xian Zhong with disappointment. Then her face turned cold and she said, This time, if it wasn't for Lord Lu Ming, you and your father would have colluded with the Heavenly Corpse sect and attacked the crafting school. How can I forgive you? Xian Xiang turned her head and did not look at Xian Zhong. Xian Zhong was in despair. Clang, clang. At this moment, Xian Long and Xian Yuan had already exchanged a blow. Xian Yuan retreated quickly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, there were sounds of something breaking through the air around the crafting school. Pitch-black coffins appeared all around the crafting sect. The Heavenly Corpse sect is attacking. The Heavenly Corpse sect is attacking. There were shouts and screams from all directions. Now, you're all going to die. Xian Yuan laughed maniacally. Damn it, activate the array, Activate the array. Qianlong roared. However, in the next moment, there were explosions and screams around the crafting school. At the scene, several elders suddenly moved to assassinate the other elders of the crafting school. In an instant, those several elders were killed on the spot. You, Qianlong roared, his eyes spitting fire. Obviously, these people had all betrayed the crafting school. Qianlong, I've been in the crafting school for many years. How can there be no one? Xian Yuan sneered. Traitor, traitor, kill them. The crafting school was in chaos. There were shouts and screams. At this moment, the coffins of the Heavenly Corpse sect opened and zombie guards flew out. They rushed into the crafting school and started a war. In an instant, the crafting school was engulfed in the flames of war. Xian Yuan, you deserve to die. Qianlong roared and pounced on Xian Yuan. Don't think that I'm afraid of you. Xian Yuan roared and started a war with Qianlong. Both of them were Martial King Realm Greater Success Kings. The battle was intense. Qianlong, hand over the dark steel heavy sword and I'll leave your corpse intact. An old zombie guard wearing a black robe silently appeared not far away and said coldly, So you want the dark steel heavy sword? You want to go to the ancient desolation city? Qianlong seemed to have thought of something and his face changed. Hee, hand over the dark steel heavy sword. I know it's in your storage ring. The old zombie guard roared. Brother Lu, take Xiang away. Chapter 558. Leave? I still want her blood as a guide. How can I let her go? Capture that girl for me. Be careful, don't kill her. The old zombie guard waved his hand. Immediately, several zombie guards controlled the refined corpses to charge at Xianxiang. Kill! Xianxiang roared and controlled several spirit weapons to charge at the zombie guards. At this moment, Lu Ming threw Xianzhong onto the square of the forging sect. With a flash of his figure, he dashed toward a few zombie guards and refined corpses. With a sweep of his long spear, the few zombie guards exploded one after another. Kill that brat! The old zombie guard shouted, and more zombie guards rushed toward Lu Ming. There were at least 10 zombie guards with 20 refined corpses. Iron chains covered the sky and wrapped around Lu Ming and Xianxiang. Go! Lu Ming pulled Xianxiang and retreated, avoiding the entanglement of the iron chain. At this moment, there were battles everywhere. There were battles between the Forging Sect disciples and the Sky Corps sect's zombie guards. There were also internal conflicts within the Forging Sect. Damn traitor! Lu Ming saw that on the square below, an angry Forging Sect disciple chopped off Xianzhong's head. In the end, Xianzhong died in the hands of the Forging Sect disciple. Xianxiang also saw all of this. She bit her red lips and her eyes were red. She didn't make a sound. Capture that girl! Around them, a group of zombie guards controlled the refined corpses and charged toward Lu Ming and Xianxiang. Why do they want to capture Xianxiang? Just now, Sect Master Xian shouted about the ancient desolation city? Could it be the ancient desolation city in the eastern part of the profound heaven continent? Lu Ming's mind raced. A battle sword pierced through the void and cut off the heads of 5 or 6 zombie guards. It was Qianlong. He controlled the battle sword to help Lu Ming and Xianxiang. Lu Ming, take Xiangxiang with you. Hurry and go to Tianxian City. I'm counting on you. Qianlong shouted. In the Forging Sect, only Qianlong and Xian Yuan were kings. The other elders were all kings. None of them had the strength of Lu Ming. At this moment, Qianlong could only ask Lu Ming for help. All right. Lu Ming agreed. He pulled Xianxiang and quickly retreated. No one can leave? Suddenly, a cold voice sounded from behind. Whoosh! Whoosh! A series of iron chains pierced through the air, entangling towards Lu Ming and Xianxiang. Scram! Lu Ming bellowed, and a 1,000-meter-long spear light swept out. But in the next moment, Lu Ming's expression changed drastically. The spear light was penetrated by the iron chain, and the iron chain continued to wrap around them. Great success, Monarch! Lu Ming's heart trembled. That was definitely a great success king-level refined corpse. With me here you want to leave? How is that possible? Hee hee. Behind him, a middle-aged zombie guard was controlling two refined corpses. They emitted a terrifying aura as they pressed towards Lu Ming. Lord Lu Ming, leave quickly. Don't worry about me. Xian Xiang shouted. Let's go. Lu Ming pulled Xian Xiang and rushed in another direction. However, the iron chain had blocked all paths of retreat. Boom, boom. Lu Ming exchanged a few blows with it. His body shook violently, and blood spilled out of his mouth. With his current combat strength, there was still a gap between him and a great success king. Just as there was a divide between the 3rd and 4th level Martial King realm, there was also a divide between the 6th and 7th level Martial King realm. The 7th level Martial King realm belonged to the Great Success King realm. Their combat strength was 2 levels higher than the 6th level Martial King realm. Whoosh, whoosh. The iron chains flew across the sky, attacking Lu Ming continuously. Clang, clang. At this moment, 2 battle swords flew over and knocked the iron chain away. It was Xianlong who was controlling the swords to help. Xianlong, how dare you be distracted while fighting with me? You're courting death. Xian Yuan shouted coldly, and his battle weapon flew out. Xianlong was hit by Xian Yuan's spear, which pierced a bloody hole in his shoulder. If Xianlong had not dodged in time, it would have pierced his heart. Father! Xian Xiang was shocked and worried. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, the middle-aged zombie guard appeared behind Lu Ming and grabbed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming hurriedly turned around and stabbed out with his spear. The middle-aged zombie guard was also a Great Success King realm 7th level Martial King realm. Although the zombie guard's combat strength was not strong, he was still stronger than Lu Ming. Bang! With one blow, Lu Ming's body was sent flying backward. Not good. Lu Ming could not help but let go of Xian Xiang's hand. Whoosh, whoosh. Immediately, several iron chains wrapped around Xian Xiang and pulled her far away. I got the girl. Now I need the dark iron heavy sword. The old zombie guard sneered. He was also a Great Success King realm expert, and he was controlling the refined corpse to kill the elders of the crafting sect. The elders were killed by his refined corpse one after another. Xiang Xiang. Xianlong roared and controlled 3 swords to cut at the iron chains that wrapped around Xian Xiang. However, the refined corpse that wrapped around Xian Xiang was a Great Success King realm expert. How could Xianlong save her? The iron chains flew out and knocked the 3 swords away. You dare to be distracted? That Xian Yuan revealed a cold smile. Xian Yuan took advantage of Xianlong's distraction and attacked fiercely. Whoosh. This time, one of Xianlong's arms was chopped off by Xian Yuan. Xianlong roared like a mad lion. I got the storage ring. Xian Yuan was overjoyed and threw Xianlong's arm to the old zombie guard. Xian Xiang anxiously roared in the distance. Bang! Lu Ming sent several lesser success King realm refined corpses flying with his spear and charged toward Xianlong. Kid, you want to save her? The middle-aged zombie guard controlled a refined corpse and blocked Lu Ming's path. Die my s. Then smash. Lu Ming patted Dandan. Shwa. Dandan flew out and rapidly enlarged, smashing toward the middle-aged zombie guard's face. Bang! The middle-aged zombie guard could not dodge at all and was directly smashed in the face. He screamed as his face was almost smashed. He frantically retreated while controlling the refined corpse to block in front of him. What a meticulous plan! Lu Ming felt that it was a pity. Originally, he wanted to use Dandan to ambush and kill a Greater Success King realm zombie guard. However, this zombie guard immediately controlled the refined corpse to block in front of him, so he did not have the chance. Lu Ming dashed past them and toward Xianlong. At this moment, Xian Xiang was surrounded by a bunch of refined corpses. Even if he wanted to save her, it was already too late. At this moment, Xianlong was in danger. One of his arms was chopped off, so he was not Xian Yuan's opponent at all. Bang! Lu Ming's aura was like a rainbow. He was simply invincible under the Greater Success King realm. No zombie guard or refined corpse could stop him. This kid is courting death. The old zombie guard's eyes were cold as he controlled a greater success King Realm refined corpse to charge toward Lu Ming. At the same time, he himself also charged toward Xianlong. Not good. Extreme Dao strike. Lu Ming became one with his spear and turned into a spear light. The refined corpses and zombie guards in front of him were all sent flying. Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared not far from Xianlong. However, at this moment, the old zombie guard and Xian Yuan had already surrounded Xianlong. Xianlong was already at a disadvantage. Now that he was surrounded, he was instantly hit and his body was covered in blood. Then, smash! Lu Ming shouted. That. Chapter 559. Bam! Dandan hit Xian Yuan first. Xian Yuan screamed miserably. Even though he was a grand completion king, his face was smashed into pulp by Dandan's attack. How could Xianlong let go of this opportunity? Traitor, die! Xianlong controlled 3 swords and slashed at Xian Yuan. Clang, clang. Xian Yuan only managed to block 2 of the swords in his panic. He couldn't block the third one. The third sword cut off Xian Yuan's head. A greater success king was killed just like that. But at the same time, the old zombie guard's claw pierced through Xianlong's chest and grabbed his heart. Damn it! Lu Ming roared and smashed Dandan at the old zombie guard's face. The old zombie guard screamed and quickly retreated, but it was still smashed by Dandan, smashing it beyond recognition. Shua! Lu Ming rushed over, grabbed Xianlong, and quickly broke out. At the same time, his true Yuan swept Xian Yuan's corpse into the Temple of Paragon. Bam! Bam! Lu Ming swept out his spear, and the refined corpses were sent flying. Lu Ming continued to rush out. Damn it! Stop him! Stop him! I want him to die! The old zombie guard screamed and controlled the greater success king refined corpses to surround him. This time, the Heavenly Corpse sect had taken action in advance. Only 2 of their king-level masters had come. There were no king-level masters blocking Lu Ming's path. Without a phenomenal success king, no one below the phenomenal success king level would be able to withstand Lu Ming's attack. The refined corpses were sent flying like sandbags. Extreme Dao strike. In the end, Lu Ming unleashed an extreme Dao attack and dashed out 5 miles away. He then took a deep breath and circulated his true Yuan. He took a step and appeared 10 miles away. Chase! The old zombie guard roared and controlled the greater success king refined corpses to chase after him. However, Lu Ming used the 9 dragons heaven stomping steps and instantly disappeared. A few minutes later, Lu Ming had rushed out nearly 10,000 miles. Xianlong kept coughing up blood, his face as pale as a sheet of paper. Lu Ming chose a secluded place, landed, and placed the profound dragon on the ground. Little brother Lu, I beg you, you must save Xiang Xiang. Xianlong coughed up blood as he spoke. His heart had been crushed, and he had relied on his powerful physical body and profound cultivation to stay alive. If it had been an ordinary person, they would have died from such injuries. Sect leader Xian, let me heal you. Lu Ming placed his palm on Xianlong's back and a majestic true energy flowed into Xianlong's body. Lu Ming's true essence was the battle dragon's true essence, which was extremely effective. After a while, Xianlong's face regained some color. Little brother, don't waste your Zhen Yuan. Your heart has already exploded, and there's nothing you can do. Little brother, let me tell you a few things. Xianlong panted. Sect leader Xian, please speak. Lu Ming said. If I'm not wrong, the Heavenly Corpse sect must have taken the Xian family's dark iron heavy sword and kidnapped Xiang Xiang. They must have gone to the ancient desolation city in the east, opened the ancient desolation tomb in the ancient desolation city, retrieved the corpses in the tomb, and refined them into peerless corpses. They must have gone to the east. Little brother, I beg you, help me save Xiang Xiang. After speaking, Xianlong struggled to kneel before Lu Ming. Sect leader Xian, what are you doing? I promise you I will save Xiang Xiang. Lu Ming said firmly. Good, that's good. Little brother, this storage ring was given to me by Xiang Xiang's mother. Can you pass it to her on my behalf? Xianlong took off his storage ring and passed it to Lu Ming. Don't worry, sect leader Xian. Lu Ming means what he says. Lu Ming took the storage ring and kept it. Sect leader Xian, what's your relationship with the ancient Desolation City? Lu Ming was curious. Lu Ming remembered that the peerless genius of the ancient Desolation City, Xian Feng, also had the same surname as Xianlong. The Xian family of the blacksmith sect used to be a branch of the Xian family in the ancient Desolation City. There were 2 dark iron heavy swords in the Xian family. It was said that once the 2 dark iron heavy swords were combined and the ancient Desolation tomb was opened, it would be a disaster for the Xian family. So, 10,000 years ago, our branch left the ancient Desolation City with the dark iron heavy sword and came here to prevent the 2 dark iron heavy swords from combining. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Corpse sect knew about it. They will definitely bring Xiang to the ancient Desolation City to get the other dark iron heavy sword. Once the ancient Desolation tomb is opened, the Xian family will be finished. Xianlong explained. Xianlong's life force was getting weaker and weaker. There was nothing he could do. Little brother, I'll leave Xiang to you. In the end, Xianlong uttered his final words. His life force dissipated and he died. Sighed. Lu Ming sighed. He dug a hole at the side and buried the mystic dragon. However, he did not leave a tombstone. If the Heavenly Corpse sect found the tombstone, they would probably refine the corpse into a corpse. Don't worry, sect leader Xian. Since I've promised, I'll do my best to fulfill it. Lu Ming cupped his fists and flew into the sky. He retracted his aura and flew back to the blacksmith sect. Quick, take everything you can. Quick! Lu Ming heard shouts as he approached the blacksmith sect. Lu Ming flew into the sky and looked down. However, he did not see any trace of Xianxiang. Not only that, he did not even see the 2 greater success king zombie guards. Where did they take Xianxiang? Lu Ming pondered. After a while, some zombie guards flew towards the north. Lu Ming followed them from a distance. They flew towards the north for at least a few 100,000 miles. There was a huge mountain filled with smoke in front of them. The zombie guards all flew into the mountain. Lu Ming stopped a few 100 miles away. He did not dare to go any further. He guessed that it was one of the Heavenly Corpse sect's bases in the Tianxian domain. There were definitely many experts there. If he got too close and was discovered, he would be in danger. Lu Ming found a secluded place and hid himself. Could Xianxiang have been brought here? Or has she left for the east? Lu Ming frowned and pondered. Whatever. I'll wait here for 2 days. If I don't see Xianxiang, I'll head east. Dandan, stay here and keep watch. Let me know if anything happens. I'll cultivate first. Lu Ming placed Dandan on the ground and entered the Temple of Paragon. Xian Yuan's corpse was on a platform in the Temple of Paragon. Lu Ming did not want to waste the essence blood of a greater success king. The 9 dragons bloodline appeared and devoured Xian Yuan's essence blood. Lu Ming took off Xian Yuan's storage ring and waved his hand. A wisp of flame appeared and burned Xian Yuan's corpse to ashes. Lu Ming sat down cross-legged and began refining Xian Yuan's essence blood. The essence blood of a greater success king was too dense. Lu Ming used it all to strengthen the 9 dragons bloodline. Chapter 560. A new silver chakra appeared. 7th chakra, 7th level king class bloodline. After refining so much blood essence, the 9 dragons bloodline finally rose to the 7th grade of king class. 7th level king class bloodline was the same level as Xian Yanqing's bloodline. It had surpassed most of the geniuses in Tianxian domain. It was said that the bloodline of the Saint Star was above 7th level king class. Other than him, no one else in Tianxian domain had reached 7th level king class. Hoo-hoo, the 9 dragons bloodline opened its mouth and inhaled. The devouring power was terrifying. The power of devouring has increased by 2 times. Now, even a greater success king would be affected by the power of devouring. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Indeed, the devouring power of the 9 dragons bloodline had greatly increased after reaching 7th level king class. I wonder what kind of changes will happen after I advance to the divine bloodline? Lu Ming thought. It was said that the divine bloodline had incredible power. It was mysterious and terrifying. Martial artists had the chance to awaken their bloodline for the third time after reaching the Sea of Spirit realm. Martial artists had 3 chances to awaken their bloodline in their life. However, not every martial artist could awaken their bloodline for the third time. The third bloodline awakening was completely different from the previous 2. It was not fixed but random. It depended on one's comprehension, luck, and talent. Some martial artists awakened their bloodline at the first level of the Sea of Spirit realm, some at the second level, and some at the third level. Some even at the Spirit Embryo realm. Most people would never be able to awaken a third bloodline in their entire lives. The probability was terrifyingly low. Out of 10,000 martial artists who reached the Sea of Spirit realm, only one could awaken their third bloodline. However, once the third bloodline was awakened, it would be terrifying. This was because the second bloodline of those who could reach the Sea of Spirit realm was usually above third-level king class. The third bloodline would definitely be higher than the second bloodline. Some people could even awaken their divine bloodline and soar to the sky. However, Lu Ming had the 9 dragons bloodline. Even if he couldn't awaken his third bloodline, his 2 bloodlines could become divine bloodlines in the future. He was looking forward to it. Let's see what's happening outside. Lu Ming walked out of the Temple of Paragon. Danden's body was flashing, but it didn't seem to be moving. Continue to wait. What's that? At this moment, Lu Ming saw a few light spots flying toward the east from the mountain in the distance. However, they were too far away. Given Lu Ming's eyesight, he could not see them clearly. Let's go to the east. Lu Ming grabbed Danden and headed toward the east. After about 10,000 miles, Lu Ming. It's Xian. From afar, Lu Ming saw more than 10 zombie guards and dozens of refined corpses. The woman in the middle was Xian Xiang. These corpse guards didn't hide in the coffins, as if they were afraid of causing unnecessary trouble along the way. After all, Xians or not. So many. Lu Ming couldn't see through at least 3 of the zombie guards. They were all kings in the Great Accomplishment stage. There were at least 6 kings in the Great Accomplishment stage. This wasn't something that Lu Ming could fight against. Lu Ming could only follow them from afar and wait for an opportunity to attack. However, the Heavenly Corpse sect was very cautious. Even when they were resting, there would be a king in the Great Accomplishment stage guarding Xian. Lu Ming couldn't attack at all. Just like that, more than 10 days passed. They were getting closer and closer to the east. The ancient Desolation City had always been mysterious in the east of the Tianxian domain. It was said that the ancient Desolation City didn't belong to this world and wasn't built by the people of this world. Instead, during the ancient times, the ancient desolate city fell from the sky. There was a strange aura in the ancient Desolation City. Other martial artists couldn't cultivate or raise their cultivation in the city. Only the Xian family members could cultivate in the ancient Desolation City. Therefore, other than the Xian family members, no one else lived in the ancient Desolation City. The Xian family didn't have many people in the ancient Desolation City, but they were all peerless geniuses. Today, there weren't only people from the Xian family in the Xian family's meeting hall. There were also people from the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. The Fire Palace Master, Earth Palace Master, and Thunder Palace Master were all in the ancient Desolation City's meeting hall. Apart from them, there were also some protectors from the Emperor Heaven Divine Palace. They were all powerful people. Recently, more and more people from the Heavenly Corpse sect have appeared in the east of the Tianxian domain. Could it be that the Tianxian branch palace in the central region is at a disadvantage? The Earth Palace Master said. Especially the ancient Desolation City. There are Heavenly Corpse sect's corpse guards coming to harass us. Therefore, the Palace Master sent us to help. The Thunder Palace Master frowned. Could it be that the Heavenly Corpse sect's target is the ancient Desolation Tomb? Sitting at the head of the table was a middle-aged man whose eyes were like lightning. At this moment, he spoke with a frown. This person was the ancient Desolation City City Master and also the Xian family's family master. Beside him stood a youth. It was Xian Feng. Ancient Desolation Tomb? The Thunder Palace Master and the others were puzzled. According to our Xian family's ancient records, the ancient Desolation City descended from another world. The ancient Desolation Tomb is where the corpses of unparalleled experts are buried. Our Xian family's ancestor entered the ancient Desolation Tomb by chance and merged with a drop of blood from one of the corpses. That's how he was able to cultivate in the ancient Desolation City. I suspect that the Heavenly Corpse sect wants to open the ancient Desolation Tomb and seize the corpses. The Xian family's family master said. There's actually such a thing? The Earth Palace Master, Thunder Palace Master, and the others were dumbfounded. In the past, they thought that it was just a rumor. Then we can't let the Heavenly Corpse sect succeed. If the Heavenly Corpse sect really obtains the corpses of unparalleled experts and refines them into refined corpses, it will be a great catastrophe. The Earth Palace Master said, Don't be afraid. It won't be easy for them to open the ancient Desolation Tomb. They need 2 keys. Our ancient Desolation City only has 1 key. The other key was taken away by another branch of the Xian family 10,000 years ago. The ancient Desolation City's city master said. That's good. The few of them heaved a sigh of relief. A few days ago, the Heavenly Corpse sect would occasionally attack. But these few days, the Heavenly Corpse sect has gone into hibernation. I wonder what their goal is? The Fire Palace Master said. No matter what their goal is, we just need to prepare our defenses. The Thunder Palace Master said. After that, the crowd continued to discuss for a while before dispersing one by one. Only the ancient city master was still frowning. Feng, if anything happens, you must escape. Your life is more important. Do you understand? The ancient city master instructed. Father, Xian Feng wanted to say something but stopped. Remember, our Xian family can't end here. This time, I have a bad premonition. The ancient city master said. Chapter 561. In the blink of an eye, another 5 days had passed. Early in the morning, there were sounds of something breaking through the air. There were at least 1,000 coffins flying towards the ancient desolate city from all directions. Not good, the Heavenly Corpse sect has launched an attack. There are so many coffins. A scream came from the ancient desolate city and spread throughout the city. Prepare to meet the enemy. The ancient desolate city lord appeared in the air and ordered loudly. In the ancient desolate city, there were at least a few thousand people running. More than a dozen figures appeared beside the ancient desolate city lord. They were the Thunder Palace Lord, Fire Palace Lord, and some other experts from the ancient desolate city. What's going on? Why did the Heavenly Corpse sect launch an attack today and send out so many people? The Earth Palace Lord roared, full of doubts. Perhaps the person the Heavenly Corpse sect is waiting for has arrived. The ancient desolate city lord sighed. What do you mean the person they are waiting for has arrived? Who are they waiting for? Everyone was puzzled. Over 1,000 coffins opened, and corpse guards appeared in the air, carrying refined corpses. Ancient desolate city lord, hand over the black iron heavy sword and let us open the ancient desolate's tomb. We can consider letting you go. An old zombie guard sneered. Dream on. Even if you get my black iron heavy sword, you can't open the ancient desolate's tomb. The ancient desolate city lord said. Really? Do you think we don't know? We have already investigated clearly. There are 2 keys to the ancient desolate's tomb. If we don't get them, why would we attack? Bring them here. The old zombie guard waved his hand and a zombie guard appeared with a beautiful young woman. This woman was Xian Xiang. This is the descendant of the Xian family that left 10,000 years ago. We have already gotten the key. As long as the 2 keys are combined, we can open the ancient desolate's tomb. Hand over your black iron heavy sword. The old zombie guard sneered. The ancient desolate city lord's face was extremely ugly. You want me to hand it over? Impossible unless I die. The ancient desolate city lord roared. Stubborn. Since that's the case, kill. The old zombie guard waved his hand, The zombie guards controlled the refined corpses and charged towards the ancient Desolate city. Lord, a fierce battle broke out in an instant. Thousands of guards controlled more than 2,000 refined corpses to attack the ancient Desolate city. Although the ancient Desolate city's Xian family did not have many people, they still had several thousand. Together with the reinforcements from the Heavenly God Palace, they engaged in an intense battle with the Heavenly Corpse sect. Boom! Boom! The Thunder Palace Master, the Fire Palace Master, the Earth Palace Master, and the Ancient Desolation City Master all released powerful auras that were as dazzling as 4 small suns. With a wave of his hand, flickering lightning and blazing flames spread out in all directions. Dozens of refined corpses were instantly torn apart. Hee for 9th layer martial kings. Good, after killing them, I can refine another 4 powerful refined corpses. A sneer was heard. Then, 4 figures pounced toward Hallmaster Lei and the others. Among the 4 figures, 2 of them were gigantic demonic beasts. They were demonic corpses, and their bodies exuded a powerful aura. 2 of them were human corpses, but they wore armor and held spears as they charged towards the Thunder Palace Master and the others. These 2 refined corpses were completely different from the other refined corpses. The Thunder Palace Master and the others did not dare to be careless and engaged in a fierce battle with these refined corpses. For a moment, it was a draw. Screams could be heard from all over the ancient desolate city as people were killed. Lu Ming was hiding on a mountain peak outside the ancient desolate city. So many experts. I didn't expect the Heavenly God Palace to send a few palace masters. Including the original strength of the ancient desolate city, there are 8 great perfection kings. Lu Ming pondered as he sensed the auras in the distance. Apart from the 3 palace masters, the Heavenly God Palace also had 2 great perfection kings. As for the ancient desolate city itself, it also had 3 great perfection kings. However, the Heavenly Corpse sect had clearly come prepared. They had sent more than 8 great perfection kings. Including the refined corpses they controlled, their strength was clearly above the ancient desolate cities. With Lu Ming's cultivation, he would not be of much use if he participated. I'll wait and see. I'll take the opportunity to save Xian Xiang. Lu Ming made up his mind. He hid there, retracted his aura, and remained motionless. As time passed, the battle became even more intense. People were constantly being killed in the ancient desolate city, and the smell of blood permeated the entire city. As for the Thunder Palace Master and the other great perfection kings, they were under even more pressure. Apart from the 4 refined corpses from before, there were even more refined corpses attacking them. Immediately, they were at a disadvantage. Charge! Let's join forces and charge out. The Thunder Palace Master roared. No, if we charge out, everyone else will die. Moreover, the ancient desolate tomb cannot be opened. The ancient desolate city master roared. At this time, we can't care so much. If we don't charge out, we will all die. The Thunder Palace Master roared. He regretted taking on this mission. However, the ancient desolate city master and the Fire Palace Master did not listen to him. Damn it. The Thunder Palace Master roared. With a wave of his hand, thunder rumbled and struck forward. The 2 refined corpses attacking him were forced back. He then charged forward, wanting to break out of the encirclement. You actually ran away. The Fire Palace Master roared. A bunch of fools. Who is willing to stay here and die? The Thunder Palace Master sneered and charged forward. However, Shio. Iron chains appeared and 2 powerful refined corpses appeared, blocking the Thunder Palace Master's path. Behind him, the 2 refined corpses charged forward. There was no way out. Ah, damn it. The Thunder Palace Master roared and was forced back. I have already sent a message to the Palace Master to ask for reinforcements. As long as we can hold on for an hour, the Palace Master will be able to arrive. The Fire Palace Master shouted. There is a way. We can retreat to the edge of the ancient desolate tomb. Our Xian family has been inscribing inscription arrays around the tomb for generations. After so many years, The inscription arrays there have become quite powerful. We can retreat there and activate the inscription arrays. We can definitely hold on for an hour. The ancient desolate city master said. Alright, let's do that. The Fire Palace Master and the Earth Palace Master both agreed. The Thunder Palace Master helplessly followed them and charged into the ancient desolate tomb. Gather, gather. We will retreat to the ancient desolate tomb together. The ancient desolate city master roared as he retreated. He gathered the remaining members of the Xian family and retreated to the ancient desolate tomb together. However, the Heavenly Corpse sect tried their best to stop them. There were killings everywhere and not many people could shake off their opponents to join them. In the end, only a few hundred people rushed to the edge of the ancient desolate tomb. Activate the array. The ancient desolate city master roared. His eyes were filled with pain. Once they activated the array, the people in the other parts of the ancient desolation city would only die. However, they had no choice but to do so now. Chapter 562. A light screen appeared in front of the city master of the ancient desolation city. Boom, boom, boom. Those powerful refined corpses were constantly attacking the light barrier. The light barrier was constantly trembling, but it didn't break. It firmly blocked the attacks. Damn it, attack! A greater success. King Zombie Guard roared and ordered the other zombie guards to control the refined corpses to attack. However, the inscription array was extremely strong and couldn't be broken in a short period of time. City Lord of the ancient desolate city, are you so heartless as to hide inside and watch your clansmen get killed? An old zombie guard appeared and sneered. Miserable cries could be heard all around. They were all from the Xian family. Kiki, the ancient city lord, clenched his teeth and tears welled up in his eyes. Ah, damn it. The other Xian family members, such as Xian Feng, who had entered the array, stared outside with red eyes. Don't kill those Xian family members yet. Take them down and kill them here. The old zombie guard ordered. Soon, the Xian family members were injured and brought to the ancient city lord's tomb. City Lord, save us. Some of the more cowardly ones begged. However, the ancient city lord clenched his fists and didn't say a word. It was said that once the ancient city lord's tomb was opened, there would be a disaster. Kill! The old zombie guard ordered. Bush, bush. The iron chain was like a long spear that pierced through the Xian family members and killed them all. Damn it, damn it. Xian Feng and the others roared. Soon, more Xian family members were brought in and killed. Not only the Xian family members, but even the Fire Palace Lord and the others were furious. Open the inscription array and hand over the black iron sword. Then we can spare their lives. The old zombie guard sneered. Don't even think about it. The ancient city lord roared. His eyes were red and filled with killing intent. All right, continue to kill. Then more Xian family members were brought in. Father, father, save me. A loud shout came from a beautiful girl in her 20s. Minta. The ancient city lord shouted. Ah, so this is your daughter. Good. City Lord of the ancient desolation city, I wonder what it would be like for you to watch your daughter copulate with a hero of the Heavenly Corpse sect in public? I'm really looking forward to it. You, go and take off her clothes. I'll leave this cushy task to you. The old zombie guard pointed at a pale-faced middle-aged zombie guard. Thank you, Elder. The middle-aged zombie guard was overjoyed. His eyes shone with a lustful light as he walked towards the beautiful woman. No, don't come over. Despair filled the beautiful woman's face. Bastard, you damned bastard. The Fire Palace Master roared. Me. Xian Feng roared and was about to rush out, but he was slapped back by the city lord. Remember, don't let them enter the desolate ancient tomb. Guard it with the great formation and wait for rescue. The city lord of the ancient desolation city scolded Xian Feng. Then, his eyes turned cold and he dashed out of the formation towards Xian Min. Father. Xian Feng roared. Hee hee, you're finally willing to come out? Take him down. The old zombie guard waved his hand, and a few greater success kings controlled the refined corpses to attack the city lord of the ancient desolation city. Kill! The city lord of the ancient desolation city emitted a blazing light. He slashed down with his battle sword, and the middle-aged zombie guard was cut in half. The sword chi slashed out, and a refined corpse of the martial king realm was cut in half. The city lord of the ancient desolation city's aura was much stronger than before. A secret technique that burns one's essence, chi, and soul. Do you want to die? The old zombie guard roared. The city lord of the ancient desolation city burned his essence, chi, and soul. It was a secret technique of the Xian family. His battle strength skyrocketed, but he would definitely die in less than 10 minutes. Min, follow me. I'll bring you out. The city lord of the ancient desolation city said to the beautiful woman. He grabbed her hand and dashed out. Stop him! The old zombie guard roared. Immediately, the experts among the zombie guards attacked. 5 refined corpses that were equivalent to martial king realm cultivators charged towards the city lord of the ancient desolation city. Get out of my way! The city lord of the ancient desolation city held his sword with one hand, and his aura was shocking. He slashed out, and a martial king realm corpse was sent flying. It was almost cut in half. The city lord of the ancient desolation city's battle strength skyrocketed after using the secret technique that burned his essence, chi, and spirit. He was infinitely close to a peak king realm cultivator. The sword chi swept out, and several martial king realm corpses were sent flying. There were even 7 or 8 zombie guards that were swept by the sword chi and killed. The city lord of the ancient desolation city rushed out with Xian Min, back off. Let's work together to control the dragon corpse. The old zombie guard roared. Whoosh! A huge coffin flew down from the sky. This coffin was hundreds of meters long and more than 50 meters wide. It pressed down on the city lord of the ancient desolation city. Break! The city lord of the ancient desolation city slashed out, and the coffin exploded. However, a huge creature emerged from the coffin. Its winding body was hundreds of meters long and covered with scales. It had 2 horns on its head and 4 claws under its abdomen. It was the corpse of a flood dragon. Bush. At least 10 zombie guards flew onto the flood dragon corpse. Their bodies were filled with corpse chi. These 10 zombie guards were all at the peak king realm. At this moment, they were controlling the flood dragon corpse together. Suddenly, the flood dragon corpse let out a huge roar. The roar formed a huge storm that rushed toward the city lord of the ancient desolation city. Not good. The city lord of the ancient desolation city's face changed drastically. He slashed out with his sword, and the bright sword chi split the storm apart. However, his body also retreated rapidly. The flood dragon corpse moved, and its 200-meter-long body rushed toward the city lord of the ancient desolation city. At the same time, it clawed down. Its speed was as fast as lightning. The city lord of the ancient desolation city roared and slashed out with his sword. However, it was useless. The sword chi was scattered by the flood dragon claw. The flood dragon claw hit the city lord of the ancient desolation city heavily. The city lord of the ancient desolation city was sent flying like a cannonball. He crashed into the light screen of the inscription array in front of the ancient desolation tomb and spat out blood. As for Xian Min, needless to say, she was torn apart by this attack. How could this be? The city lord of the ancient desolation city roared. He couldn't bear it. Dad Mikl. Xian Feng also roared. Inside the array, everyone's faces were filled with despair. The Sky Corpse sect even had a Flood Dragon Corpse. From the previous exchange, the Flood Dragon Corpse was too powerful. Its battling power was unparalleled. It was probably close to the Sea of Souls realm. Could this inscription array block it? The old zombie guard waved his hand and collected a strand of Xian Min's blood. He sneered, "We have the blood of this descendant of the Xian family. All that is left is the black iron heavy sword. Continue to attack." The old zombie guard waved his hand. The Flood Dragon Corpse continued to attack. The city lord of the ancient desolation city tried his best to block out the attack. However, the difference was too great. He was beaten until he spat out blood. All of the bones in his body were broken. He laid on the ground and his qi was weakening rapidly. Get the hell back! Xian Feng roared and wanted to rush out. However, he was stopped by the city lord. The old zombie guard walked to the city lord of the ancient desolation city and took the storage ring of the city lord. The next moment, a black iron heavy sword appeared in the hands of the old zombie guard. Ah, 2 keys in hand. Now attack this array. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.